Woo, do, 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 do. Big bass. Big bass coming your way. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, ba, ba. Remind me again why we went this way?
Because it's
we want to hear all the aches, creaks. I was going to say aches and pains, but
yeah.
You know, this thing's only got like 48,000 miles on it.
I have a booster seat, yes. I strap it in the seat right here.
You got a strap on?
I got a strap on and everything. Yeah,
okay.
Everything is good. Thank you so much.
This live might be a little different than most lives that we've done before. This might be more like a reverse polarity. Although
yeah,
I won't cuss as much.
No, you don't have to cuss.
No,
let me know if the audio is good, how it sounds.
Yeah. We try. We have the same settings that we set it for the other night or the other day.
Okay.
So.
What's up? 25 hertz to live.
Hey, man.
Hey.
We got the Munchin Mix for this trip. Munchin Mix and cookies.
Power Hog is in the house right away. What's going on? Thank you for the 5, brother.
We're going to be in Atlanta at 1:30 tonight. Actually, probably closer to 2:30 tonight because we'll be at Buc-ee's, according to this, at about 1. Probably not going to be able to hook up. Sorry. Next time.
Yeah.
Next time.
Crazy.
Yeah, we both said and yeah.
That's right. It's just thinking words.
Oh, is your seatbelt on? I'm getting a flash.
No. I don't like seatbelts.
They save your lives.
Oh, they cause you a lot of problems.
I don't know. Hopefully this box is screwed down really, really tight.
It's gonna be.
I hope it's SPL guy approved.
You're gonna go.
I could go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good call.
All right.
Oh, I just saw that car.
Safety first, now. That's right. Safety first. I buckle up. Everything is good.
2 pairs of underwear.
2
pairs of underwear, just in case.
Just in case? Okay, yep. I got 3. Because it's going to be a long trip. If I'm looking down, it's because I'm looking at your comments right now just to see what's going on over here. What's up from New York?
We just finished working on a car from New York.
Yeah.
The Tundra we had in the bay, he drove down with his wife from New York.
Uh-huh.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was.
That was an interesting system, man. You know, it had an Android radio in it, which is what you guys often ask about. And every fear that I had about the Android radio came true.
Yeah.
They are just not made to build a system off of. Luckily, he had a DSP with many hours of tuning and tweaking and redoing part of the install.
Yep.
We were able to get a really good sound out of it.
Yeah.
The CT sound speakers sounded wonderful. I was impressed. I really enjoyed those.
And that was a 3-way set.
Yeah, and it wasn't a ton of power.
No.
And they really performed.
Yeah.
He had a 3-way set up front, a 2-way set in the rear. And it was all getting powered off of that 600 DSP Kenwood amplifier. And he had a center channel too. Now the center channel wasn't upmixed or anything like that. It was just blended into the surround via the delay. So for the drive, I don't know why I keep saying that. For the driver, he had just more pronounced center channel, which helped a lot. Because we had a 3-way set that wasn't active. It sounded good. I liked it. I was impressed. I enjoyed it. When I was done, you didn't really get a chance to hear it. Because we were trying to get
the Jeep done. Because while
I know, what are the odds of a Jeep?
While Dean was tuning the Toyota, I was putting the radio and the backup camera on the Jeep. You almost did the whole thing. I just
pre-wired everything. Got the backup camera and loom. Built the brackets, built the dash kit, soldered up the iData harness.
Yeah.
If you're doing a Jeep without an iData harness, man, you're missing out. That's for sure.
It's
so nice.
Let's turn the switch off.
The lights, the red, is it screwing things up?
No. It's good. It's just,
we don't want to get in trouble.
We don't want to get in trouble. It's a red light, blue lights, red lights. You should not have it. And if you have it, turn it off.
We'll wait
while you're driving.
In the dark depths of I-275.
What's up, Jason? What's going on?
So anyways, one of the cool things about an iData harness for a Chrysler is we often talk about 4 and 8. Meaning, is it an amplified or a non-amplified?
Correct.
You might want to keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
And with the iData harness, there's plugs on the speaker wires, so you can unplug them and move them around. So if you wire it all up and you get done and you're like, oh crap, it's a 4, which means that the rear output of the factory radio is what's feeding that amplifier. And if you don't get it properly, you're not going to get sound from your Bluetooth. Then you just easily unplug it and shift it. Whereas like when you do like a pack harness or a Metro harness, I'm not sure on the Metro harness because we've never actually used one. So on a pack harness, we'll leave it at that. You have to either cut it all back apart or repin the harness, which is what we do a lot of the times. So I would much rather just do the iData harness and move on. Plus the nice thing about the iData harness is if you're doing like the Alpine backup camera that has the brake light built into it, they give you brake light on their harness and pack does not.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think Metro does either, so.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
The ride is what? 20 hours? Like it's 18 hours?
It's, yeah. I mean,
but because we're going to stop and do all the crazy.
So at some point during this ride, we'll be stopping at Hi-Fi's house.
Yes. Oh, also, yeah, somebody asked if we're going to
We are going to stop at Hi-Fi's. That'll be sometime tomorrow. I don't know when. You guys will know when we know. But we're going to go to his... Wow, they're rebuilding the school, huh?
Yes.
Dude, this is like the oldest school. Anyway, sorry, guys. I don't make it over this way that often. I'm sorry. I live in the better part of town.
What are you talking about? We have KFC. We have Mugs. We have...
Mugs Jr.?
Yes.
What the heck is that?
What? I don't even know. I haven't...
I was going to say... What? Oh, I got to get my wallet out of my pockets.
Yeah. How's Jeff Smith? Jeff Smith is good. He stopped by
yesterday? We talked to him yesterday. We talked to him for about I want to say a good 45 minutes to an hour yesterday.
Yeah.
He's doing okay right now. He had a rough patch there, like everyone did. And he's doing good.
Yeah, he's doing good, because that was Friday, that kind of Friday.
Yeah, it was that Good Friday.
That's a Good Friday.
But no, we'll get him back on the show. We'll do a live here soon. We'll do some more Jeff, Jeff, we know how you guys love having Jeff Smith on and just talking, doing DSP talk and SQ talk and all that other fun stuff.
Oh, totally.
Did you see where the finals are coming up?
Yes, yes.
I don't know what weekend it is.
I follow the Ayahuasca and all that stuff, so yeah, I know.
Yeah, the local finals here. I'd probably be out of town that weekend.
Do you bring some tools so you can install my system?
We do have a Kicker multi-tool. It's like a credit card.
Yeah.
So if we can do it with that, you're in luck. If we can't do it with that, I also have a panel tool.
Yeah. I'm going to show you this because...
I might have a screwdriver.
We're going to stop by and I don't know where.
I don't either.
But we're going to give away some of this. You see? It's a Kicker multi-tool.
Multipass.
Multipass.
Do you know what that's from?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Right.
Yeah, man.
Wow, no kidding?
Yeah.
Bruce Willis has been such a disappointment.
He was good.
He was good
not
now
anymore.
No, he's just a disappointment now. No, he just does crappy movies.
He was my hero when he married, what's her name?
Yeah?
The chick.
That married Ashton Kutcher.
Yes.
And then he divorced her and...
Yeah.
Demi Moore.
There you go.
I knew somebody was screaming at the screenwriter. Demi Moore! Demi Moore!
Come on, guys. You guys.
G.I. Jane.
Yeah. There you go, Demi Moore. That's right. Yeah.
Good deep cut.
Also, we have some masks and lanyards that we're going to give away. Whoever is going to...
Now, don't tell Kicker.
Don't tell Kicker.
But when we picked up the truck, the glove box was filled with lanyards.
That was one bag. That was not full. That was one bag.
It was like 25 or 30 lanyards in there.
Yes.
Either way, it was a full bag of lanyards in there. So I was like, well, they don't know these are in here. So
and they also have more masks.
More masks.
In here.
We didn't care about the masks, but we kept the lanyards because what we'll do is...
We're going to swap them.
We'll give those away later on in the year.
Yeah.
When we do like giveaways, we'll just throw a Kicker lanyard into the box. So we like to do stuff like that. Anytime anyone wants to give us lanyards, manufacturers, we always grab them because That way we can, when we do prize packs, like when we give away mugs or hats or whatever it is we get, I like to make little grab bags.
Yeah.
So I
But just don't tell Kicker.
Don't tell Kicker.
No,
don't
please.
Kicker. And hopefully we won't need the mask. I would have kept some of those. So.
Saludos, guys. Saludos.
Hola.
Hey, that's it. That's
That's
what
all
you
I
get?
got. No. What'd you have for dinner?
I actually had leftovers from
Really?
yesterday. Yeah.
Man, you missed going out for. Jeez.
Yeah.
I had
Leftovers.
eggs.
Eggs?
I had eggs.
Lilu. That's right. Remember?
Lilo
That was her name. Lilu.
Oh yeah, Lilu Multipass.
Multipass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that had
Corvin.
Hey,
Corbin.
I protect you.
Lilu.
Yeah. She was pretty cool. And then she went on to star in every zombie movie ever made.
If you see any ladies that need a ride, pick them up.
We got nowhere to put them.
I don't know where I can put it.
We could put them on the hood. Some could sit up with the driver and make them feel good.
I mean, I don't see where I can put them because
There's no room.
There's no room. Look at that.
It's just all base.
It's
six 15s. So for those of you that are like not, there might be somebody out there that doesn't know what's going on.
Probably not.
So let's fill you in just in case.
What are we doing in this truck?
So we have the Kicker 2015 Dodge Ram that has been sitting in our rep's yard. A rep is somebody who represents Kicker. Kicker has regional sales managers. Ours is Lori, and Lori is responsible for a quarter of the United States.
Yeah.
And inside of that, Florida, we have a gentleman by the name of John Schneid we had on the show years ago.
Yeah.
And he has had this truck sitting in his driveway for a year. Now he's responsible for the whole state of Florida. So this has moved around and been up and down the coast and whatnot. But needless to say, because of COVID, it never got back.
Yeah.
Anyways, what we got is 6 15s in a wall behind us. There's no room in this thing. He's a big guy. I don't know how the heck he was driving this thing. We have 3 2400.1s powering those 6 15s in giant ported enclosures. We have 2 400.2s powering 6 speakers, 2 6.5-inch Q class, and 4 6x9 Q class. I could be wrong. It could only be either way.
Yeah.
I've never really experienced Q class.
No.
I mean, have you?
No.
I was gonna say.
I think we did.
John Myers has it in his Mustang, but I never got a chance to listen to his Mustang. I've heard him talk about it enough. I had a chance to listen to it.
No, I mean, what I was talking about is just subwoofers.
Well, yeah.
But not
the highs.
Not the highs.
And people have always asked, what do you think of the highs?
Right.
These are coaxials. There's no components. There's nothing up in the dash.
No, it's just coaxials.
So it's either 4 or 6 coaxials.
Yeah.
And
I think this truck is just built for
loud.
just bass.
There has to be some form of EQ in here somewhere, hidden.
Okay.
Because these things are killing it. Like, it's just 4 speakers up front here. And it's so freaking loud. I mean, keep in mind, it's got 800 watts going to the highs, which is really, really nice.
Yeah.
But I'm impressed. I'm really impressed with how loud these things are.
Can you give me a demo?
He would have to plug in his phone. But yes, we will.
We're going to give you.
We're going to give you a demo.
Yeah.
But we just, we wanted to get through this a little bit. Oh, you know what? There is an SD card. If you go to the...
Hang on. All right.
If you go to media, there is an SD card in there with music on it. None of it, of course. I forgot to download.
That's going to be like copyright.
Oh, it's all copyright crap.
Yeah, hang on. I got some.
You got some?
Yeah, I have some.
You got some?
I got some.
You want me to hold that while you search?
No, you good.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep talking.
All right. Have we had any
Welcome
questions?
to the guys.
Feel free to ask questions. I know this isn't a conventional show, and we said we'd answer questions. So
yeah,
I mean, we got plenty of time, so please feel free. I don't know why I keep
quiet
saying,
noise.
It is quiet noise.
Yeah, that's gonna be good.
I hate not having the screen in front of me reading the questions.
All right, so if I tap into my stock subwoofer wires and not a sub in the trunk, it is okay to leave the stock subwoofer connected, or it's better to disconnect it.
So that's a trick question, and there's several different answers for it. We'll start with question, is it okay to leave it connected? The answer to that is yes, it is okay. It's not going to hurt anything too badly by leaving it in there. However, something to think about is that the reason why you want more bass is because that's not enough bass. Putting the bigger woofer in there, you might blow that factory one because you're going to turn it up maybe louder than you would have done before, and you're not going to hear it distort. So eventually what will happen is that woofer will die, and then you'll hear something flopping around in the back. So we like to disconnect it, just so that if you ever decide to trade the vehicle in or get rid of it, the factory woofer is still good and ready to go. The problem with doing that is it may need a load resistor on it in order for the signal to function. So I would recommend going, with something like an LC2i Pro that has load generation built into it. That way, or even an LC1i Pro. Actually, the LC1i Pro would be fine because you don't need AccuBase or anything like that. But that'll give you load generation. Load generation is resistance that the subwoofer would normally apply to the amplifier to keep that signal on. It also helps to keep the the D-class amplifier solid, steady. Keep it from fluctuating. We're in the wrong lane. Here, put that down a little bit. I need to get around. Hang on. I need to get around this idiot that's driving really freaking slow in the right-hand lane.
Here we go, guys.
Anyways, so tap your brake lights. You're a moron. I guess that answers the question. If you already have a high level to low level, or you already have an amplifier, or you're all set and ready to go, you can pick up a set of what I would do is I would tap into it, see if it still works. Now, if it's a Chrysler of any kind, you're going to need LGDs from audio control. So you're going to need the grays because it's amplified.
Yeah.
But if it's anything else like a Ford, a Toyota, or anything like that, it'll still play when you disconnect it. However, I would still recommend putting a set of audio control LGD blue on it, just to give it the small amount of load that it would have from the speaker, and then everything will be fine. You'll get a lot of longevity out of it.
Yeah. All right. David Monroe, thank you for the 5, man.
You're the man.
A late carbon.
Ooh, yeah, I got a set.
All right. Or Audio Frog GBs components.
Ooh.
I know why you like. He's like, I know what Dean will say.
Well, the thing is they're both phenomenal, and the GB 6.5s are. What is it with these people?
I don't know.
It's the one on the right, people.
Look, these people are just like.
I mean, and keep in mind, we're only going like 50. We're not even going fast here. This is Courtney Campbell Causeway. It's not like you can haul ass on this.
All right, so
the GB60,
LA carbons.
The GB60 is a phenomenal mid-bass driver. In my opinion, one of the best. But then you're comparing it against one of the best. We're looking at a Tyson Holyfield fight here.
Yeah.
It's like two of the most Mac Daddy 6.5s that you could put, put hands on and put into a car.
Yeah.
How am I going to sit there and tell you which one to buy? I mean, yes, you're right. Obviously, I'm going to sit there and go, I like Morel, so therefore you should buy a Morel.
But let me tell you
I'm not going to do that.
Let me tell you this. Those GBs, they go so low. It's really hard, honestly. It's really hard to pick between those type of.
Buy both, man. Just buy both.
Yeah, I
buy
know,
both
man.
and send one back.
I know. If
buy from Crutchfield.
Okay.
And you can buy both. Send one back.
Send one back? Really?
Yeah, why not? You got like 30 days.
Guess.
I don't know.
Okay, I mean yeah, but like who
I didn't tell you to do that. I'm just saying you could definitely do that.
Yeah, but like who has like I don't know $3,000 just to.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm just saying. The reality is no matter which one you buy, you're going to be happy.
Yes, you're going to be happy regardless of what brand motorcycles, man.
All right, next question.
Yeah. All right, hang on. I was trying to find it.
Don't try.
I have a 2012 Chevy Cruze, and I bought an Alpine S Series for it. Should I buy an audio control DM608?
Excuse me. So what did he buy? The Alpine what?
S Series. I think
S-series?
it's just speakers.
Okay, so we bought S-series speakers. I mean...
Oh, no, hang on.
Okay,
yeah, I buy an Alpine S-series for it.
Okay.
Should I buy an audio control? I think that's what he meant. Buy speakers, S-series, and...
Well, I guess the question would be, what amplifiers are you going to be running? Did you do a full S-series system?
Right.
You got S-series amp, S-series speakers. But I guess the real question is, do you need a DSP? Should you buy a DSP? And the reality is, yes, you should buy a DSP. Everyone should have a DSP.
I feel that everyone should get a DSP, regardless of...
If you didn't see last Thursday's class we did with audio control, Matthew Palumbo and myself, demystifying the black box modern DSP, go check that out, because even if you don't want an audio control product, which we hope you do, but if you don't, just watching that will help. And you have any questions about DSP, after watching that video, if you don't feel more confident about owning a DSP, obviously I didn't do my job, but it really helps to break it down to things that we all, as car audio people, fans and whatnot, can gravitate towards. But yes, you should have a DSP, and an audio control would be a great one to go with.
All right, let's see. I don't know what you guys talk about the president right now, but any thoughts about new Jeep, the new Grand Cherokee with the Macintosh?
Man, that's $100,000 worth of fun and excitement right there. That's a whole lot of monitors to break. I mean, okay, so we're driving a 2015 Dodge Ram. So technically this thing's 7 years old. Yeah. And I gotta be honest with you, the tech in this thing sucks. It is a nightmare. The radio that's in the dash is factory. It's slow as hell. It doesn't have CarPlay or Android Auto. It looks sexy. I mean, it looks gorgeous.
It's just a 2015.
It's just a 2015. Okay. The truck has surprisingly only 50,000 miles on it, so it's doing really well. My point is this is basically useless. Like, it sucks. I don't know what they're going to put in this thing, but for $100,000, I don't really think the people buying this are going to keep it for more than like 3 years.
The one that's like $100,000, you have everything, dude.
But no, my point is, at 7 years old, it's going to be useless. The car will be useless. It'll just have 200 screens in it.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
I mean, for me, I guess...
Okay, this is 2015, right?
Well, let me...
And you still buy it.
Well, let me answer it like this. As some of the snarkity people in the industry would say, what do I care what it's got? I'm not putting my stuff in it, so I don't care.
No, but it's like, I guess.
If I can't put stereo equipment, I don't care about it.
And honestly, you can put in anything. You just gotta do the work. All right. Changing the radio in the Toyota Sienna.
How do
I don't know what year is the Toyota Sienna. It's raining already?
No, it was sprinkling a little bit.
All right. Where you have to keep the factory radio wire and retain the rear seat entertainment, what is the best way to do? All right, so if you change the Toyota, the radio on the Toyota Sienna, what do you need to do to keep the rear seat entertainment? I don't know what year is the Toyota Sienna. But
so years ago, it was one of those things where you just rewired the radio and put it in the back of the car.
I haven't now. If that's one of the new ones.
Yeah, I have no idea.
All right, so I think RP5.
I would go iData. It's Toyota.
RP5. So. You can check packaudio.com, or you can check iData link Maestro. Type the model number of your vehicle and everything, and then you will
well, if you download the software to iData, they're going to allow you to run it in a demo mode. And when you run it in a demo mode, you can get the instructions for it, how it's going to wire it. Now, they do make a couple harnesses for Toyotas, but I think they're mainly for backup cameras. But you know, you got to do some research, man. If we get a car like that in the bay, the first thing we do is just start doing research, figure out, you know, what Metro makes. Sometimes the pieces have to come back. You know,
all right.
Because we're out of it. Oh, rain.
It's raining crazy, guys, right now. So.
Oh, I hate rain.
I know. All right. So we're just gonna go slow with it. with the questions. All right, 2017 Jeep Cherokee Trailhawk, a stock 180 amp alternator, Odyssey 94, 300 watts, Orion HCCA plus an RPSA 50 voltage.
So we got a whole bunch of crap going into a car.
The voltage dropped to 10 to 11 volts.
Yeah.
Ooh. From the base.
Yeah, of course it would.
I mean, it's a 2017 Jeep Cherokee. I think you need batteries, man.
We definitely need reserve power for it. You know, obviously a bigger alternator, if they make one for it, would be spectacular.
Mm-hmm.
You know, McMahon alternators.
Well, he has a 180 alternator.
Okay, so.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. It tells me I was driving my turn signal on.
Oh, cool.
Right,
so, I mean, if you're right now, your voltage drops. I don't know if you already changed the factory
what kind of
battery. I don't know.
What kind of reserve power do you have for it to draw on? I mean, the whole purpose of batteries is to add reserve power to the system so that when the base is pumping, you know, when that base does that, you have somewhere for it to draw from. If we're talking just a one battery under the hood, you're mainlining off of the alternator, and the alternator is not going to have enough current in order to pump all that stuff. And you got 180 amp alternator, but you got, sounds like, all right, don't let me merge this, stupid.
Not that way.
No, I know, this idiot's not slowing down. You know, you got 300 plus amps of current draw, so you still don't have a big enough alternator, so you need batteries in order to handle that extra power. I mean...
So I think it's just, you know, the more power you have...
Power is key.
Yeah, it is.
Get a big lithium, throw it in there. Get the good kind, though, that don't catch your car on fire.
No kidding, right? All right, let's go with another one. Jim, thank you for the 10. Oh, by the way, same one. Thank you for the 5. Now, another question. 14 volt constant. It's below 90 degrees. Read it's controlled by the ambient temp sensor at the battery. Can fit in excess power SB75 far cap next to the amplifier. It's worth to try?
I mean, when it comes to power, man, as long as it's safe and you want to play it loud, go for it. You know, it's just, you have to remember it has to be safe.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that whatever you're doing, you know, you're properly fused. It'll work in the temperature that you have. You know, when you're putting things underneath the engine bay, you have to make sure that, you know, it'll work there and it won't overheat. But yeah.
I mean, in the end of the day, you gotta, I don't know if you can buy a bigger battery for the
under the hood?
Like for under the hood.
Probably not.
Really?
No, I mean, they're only so big. That's why you put a second battery in.
Yeah.
But either way, you know, whatever fits. This is so much fun. God, I love driving in the rain.
So, and thank you for the thank you for the 10, man. Dan, thank you for the 10. Help! I have a Dodge Ram.
Me too.
What are you driving right now? 2500.
Hey, same thing.
8.8 Uconnect.
This piece of crap.
Without the Alpine.
All right.
High-end radio. Upgrade the 6 speakers to the kickers and one to amplify as well, and add a small subwoofer amplifier. What can I use to add an amplifier?
That's
a kicker
actually,
key?
Yeah, well, no, you don't need to do that. It's a Dodge, so 8.4 inch. You have 2 choices. As long as you're going to amplify all your speakers, then all you have to do is either get the RP4 CH41, which is the Amp Pro.
Yeah.
So you, not RP, AP. I'm sorry, AP. So you need the Pack Amp Pro, which you go to pack-audio.com and you can find the Amp Pro for your car, or you can go with the AR DSR1, so you can go with the DSR1 in that. What's going to happen is both of those devices are going to give you the option to reprogram the radio to where that factory radio, because there's no difference between that radio. Wow, that was like, I love Florida. It's like
nothing.
And then nothing. Both of those interfaces are going to give you the option to reprogram the radio to where it thinks it's the Alpine system.
Yeah.
So it's going to give you the 4-volt output, and that you can amplify it.
Yeah.
That's what you do in that car. You don't try to put in an LC7 or any high level, low level. You just do that. Now, if you're trying to keep the factory radio just to power the speakers, and you just want to add a sub, then yes, the Key 5.1 or 500.1 would be a great thing to put in there, because that system, these Dodges suffer from tremendous bass roll off, and the Key will fix that.
All right, Jonathan. No, you don't have to pay us to answer the question. We do this for the past, what?
A long time.
Very long time. You don't have to pay it, but if you want to contribute with anything, that would be cool. If you have any questions,
just ask.
You can ask, but don't put that emoji of, poop, because
I just move on.
Yeah, exactly. So
we do what we can, man.
That's it.
We got a long trip ahead of us, so if you got questions, this is ask.
Yeah.
And it sucks that
sometimes,
it sucks that it's like, you didn't answer my question. We saw that. So
correct.
Instead of telling us we didn't answer your question, just type your question in again. Because what happens is it gets lost in the feed.
And
so
I'm
we do the
trying,
best that we can.
So like
But
trying to get your questions over here. I can read it. I cannot read it from the feed right now. It's really hard.
You're gonna puke all over the place?
No. I'm not that guy. Devian. Devian is in the house. Thank you for the $1.99, and just
do your thing.
Do your thing. No.
Don't
do your thing.
Don't do your thing.
I know what you do.
Don't do your thing.
Just remember, this is
play nice.
Just play nice, and everybody's gonna be here perfectly fine.
All right, go ahead.
All right. Looking for speaker recommendations.
I guess I should have looked at the weather before we left. Morale.
All right, what do you think about the Sound Digital Evox? The Evo X 800.1 and the 400.4. Ooh, really nice amplifiers, man. For the SQ setup, need micro amplifiers with a nice power to space. Okay.
I mean, you basically have two options in that category. Well, actually, you have a couple options, because the one that you're not thinking about, if you're trying to do SQ and size, is you could look at a Forza.
Yeah.
Because with a Forza, if you have a dual voice coil 4-ohm subwoofer, you could do 1 through 4 as like active tweeter, active mid for the front. So you could do a 2-way front, or you could do front rear. And then you can use channels 5, 6, 7, and 8, bridge both of those to a dual voice coil 4-ohm subwoofer and get 500 watts to the sub, all in one amplifier with a DSP built into it. Now, back to the original question, the 400 and the 800, the Sound Digital, that's a combination that we, of course, put in your car. We had a lot of success with it. It sounded wonderful. It had a lot of power. It was really cool. Another amplifier line to check out would be going and looking at, obviously, the Rockford Mini Ts or the Rockford PBRs. The PBR is kind of the one that just doesn't really get talked about much, because the Power series is just more popular. But the PBR, if you go back into our Stereo Lab, you'll see where we took the PBR 404 and used that to power a set of 6.5-inch components and an 8-inch subwoofer. The whole thing off of that one little amplifier, and it sounded great.
Yeah.
All right, I got to get out of this lane. All right, go ahead.
All right. Brian, thank you for the 10, man. 2010 RAV4. Radio will reboot in cold weather. I'm sorry. Lots of Toyota seems to complain about the same thing, but no clear solution. Already replaced the head unit and no luck. Any other ideas?
Man, when it comes to a factory radio sucking, it's probably the whole batch of radios is sucking.
Yeah.
You know, Toyota radios are just garbage as far as I'm concerned. Nothing against Toyota. They make great cars, but they make crappy radios. You know, it's time to save for another radio.
I mean, like, exactly. You know, I mean, if they replace it already, oof.
Yeah, it sounds to me like it's probably something wrong with the design
honestly,
of the radio.
I would just put, if you get lucky and get an aftermarket radio, I would put an aftermarket radio right away.
iData kit with an aftermarket radio.
Yeah, definitely.
Toyotas always get iData. That's it. If you're doing a Toyota, you use an iData wiring.
Positive thing, guys. Positive thing always. What amplifier and sub do you recommend for a 2019 Jeep Compass for the trunk? For the trunk compartment.
I mean, if we're looking for something basic, you know, Rockford has the P300s. You know, they got the P300 8, 10, 12. They have the P500. They have the wedge. They have the trunk box.
Yeah.
It's an all-in-one. We have a ton of videos on them. We've done a ton of them. It's kind of our go-to. We put it in Haley's car. It's part of the Haley special. We do a kicker key on the highs. We do that. You know, we mix Rockford and Kenwood in this. I'm sorry, Rockford and kicker in this really weird relationship. But you know, you go with what works. A kicker key to power your mids and highs, and the Rockford P300. But it's a great combination. It sounds fabulous.
Hello from Iceland. Where are you going? Where are you going, dude?
Right now we're going crazy because the rain is driving me up the wall. As you can see, I'm driving like an old guy because these windshield wipers suck.
hang on. Dude, this is the best, man.
I mean, I can't see shit. So anyways, yeah, we're going crazy, but we're headed to Stillwater, Oklahoma to return the kicker truck.
Yes.
We got a giant system in the back, and it's ridiculous. So we got Stillwater or Clearwater to Stillwater,
and we have a lot of water right now.
The water's falling down. The tears of the sadness of it going home.
Oh yeah, man.
It had a great time in Florida, but hey, man, party's over. And we were dumb enough to volunteer to drive it. So,
yeah,
I mean, it sounded like a good idea at the time.
Have you guys done any 2016 and Nav Titan XD? Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes, we done.
Oh.
We did few of them.
Did one.
Fernando, ask Dean to please interview Kip when he's a kicker.
Well, okay. I don't mind interviewing Kip. I would love to interview Kip, but, you know, I need to know what you guys want to know. That's the question, is what things do you want me to ask Kip? You know, because I don't know why I keep saying, you know. Man, what would you guys want me to ask him? Because honestly, I feel like he's already given out enough information.
Okay, so now that you mentioned that, see, he has the whole unmask every Tuesday, right?
Yeah.
So I think,
which I'll be on Tuesday.
Exactly. Yeah, you can ask them there, whatever you want.
Well,
but I feel that for me, that would be good to have another person from kicker, right? Another engineer, another
two-person talk show.
Cell guy, or
well, yeah, I think they should bring Aaron back. Aaron and Kip. Those two guys would probably play well together. I mean, John and Aaron played well. I'd like to see Aaron on the show with Kip more. Aaron's a pretty cool. I think him and Kip would play off one another pretty well. I'm a two-guy show. Like I think
you already. High Five Vega, what's up, man? I think you already interviewed Fernando.
I did interview Fernando. I interviewed Steve. The Steve one was awesome. That was fun. I need to make a playlist with just those things.
I want to interview a guy that was. I know it's a lot of guys in there, but like, you know, a different guy that was in charge with the Solo X project too. You know, what was his thoughts?
You would want to talk to Aaron, the other Aaron. So there's two Aarons.
Okay. So I can talk about with another.
You have Spiky Aaron and Aaron that has darker hair. That was on the other day.
Just to find out what were the thoughts behind that. When definitely find out the Solo X was coming back, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like,
so a little inside baseball when it comes to the Solo X. I saw a prototype for it. Jesus. When I shot the documentary, I got to see the prototype. And it looked nothing like what we have out now.
Hang on, Dave said, it looks like you guys gonna get some wipers at Buc-ee's.
Oh my God, dude. Yes. These things suck. Yeah.
Anyway. Oh, this is painful, man. I'm tired already.
Hey, now you know how I feel. Anyways, so, the Solo project, Kicker has done their research.
Yeah.
One of the things that Kicker really, and we probably shouldn't talk about it, but we're going to anyways, Kicker will buy everybody's product, all right? And I mean that. They want to know who they're going into that market against. They are not afraid to spend money, and they will destroy the product, man. They'll get it in there. They got tons of engineers there that are building stuff. So, when they come to market, man, they know what their competition is.
Yeah.
They knew who their competition is. They know what their competition is capable of because they've bought the equipment and they've beat the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And, there's, there again, probably shouldn't talk about this, but they'll buy somebody's amplifier, beat it up, rebuild it, beat it up again, rebuild it again, and they'll actually fix the amplifier until they get it to where it won't blow up. So I'm told. Wink, wink. Just because they want to figure out what these guys did wrong or what the shortcomings of the amplifier were, and they use that knowledge to build their products better. So, when someone might complain, oh, well, that amplifier is, $500, I can get this, that same amount of power for half the price. Yeah, you can, but it won't be as good.
Yeah.
I mean, it won't. It can't. The amount of research isn't there.
Can you ask the guys at Kicker if they will make or they will ever produce a 3-way speaker package similar to what Alpine made for a 2014-2018 Silverado?
Oh, that was a spectacular piece that had the tweeter,
that was really nice.
The 2.5 and the 8-inch for the door. The problem with it is Alpine made that, and they had that custom grille for the dash, and I don't see Kicker doing that custom grille for the dash. I mean, I'd like to, but I just don't see them doing that because there's not enough of those trucks. As far as a 3-way set goes, I don't have any confirmation as far as whether or not they're going to build something like that, but we have had conversations with them about why we don't have a tweet, a 2.5, and a 6x9 in one box, or a tweet, a 2.5, and a 6.5 in the box. You got to understand that when these manufacturers come out with some of these products and some of these ideas, they're not always asking the right questions of the people that are going to end up using them or selling them. So what happens is that sometimes things will get left out. And I believe that's probably what happened with the current lineup, where you have a 2.5 and a 6x9, you have a tweeter and a 6x9, but you don't have a 3-way set.
Right.
The other thing too is they need to get these products out so that they can see how well they're going to sell, see how they sound, make sure everybody likes them. A lot of the times manufacturers will put a product out and they might change it on a second go round, just because they'll get feedback now that there's a couple thousand of them out there, and it's like, hey, they're coming back, or people are complaining, or they stop the way they sound, or and they'll be like, okay, we'll go back to the drawing board, we'll make a tweak, and this isn't Kicker specifically, this is every manufacturer, and they'll quietly make a change to the product. There again, Rockford has been making the Power Series amplifiers for almost 15 years now. And if you go back and look at the BD1000 from 15 years ago, it's not the same amplifier that's out right now. They're totally different amplifiers. They've quietly made subtle changes to the amplifier going through the years to improve the amplifier. And wow, that's pretty cool.
18 Silverado, Nambos,
nice,
with the 8-inch screen.
Yeah.
I want to use an audio control DMA10.
Okay.
Do you know what to use to get the signal to the DMA10? Pack website lists some until I put that I have the 8-inch screen.
It comes okay. So basically, what you're talking about is the Amp Pro GM
61.
And that will work up to a certain year. As long as you have a year that it falls into, there's a dip switch number 3 on it that you can flick.
I believe it works.
As long as the plug's behind the radio. So if you pull that 8-inch screen out, if it's got the plugs behind the radio, and it's the old dash, not the new dash, then the Amp Pro GM61 will work.
Will work. Yes.
There's no question there. But then yes, you can feed that out to a DSP, audio control DSP, and rock on.
Yeah.
We've done that video.
Somebody say I live in Stillwater. Anyway, guys, for me to meet you.
I have no idea. I mean, obviously this is kind of a whirlwind adventure.
All right, so we're gonna let you know when we're gonna be in Oklahoma.
Yes.
You know, like we're gonna stop in gas stations and all that stuff, maybe to pee or get a drink or something. I mean, I have to. You know, it's not like
we got bottles. Just fill them up.
Oh, and did you just throw it from the window?
Throw it out the window. Unless there's a sign that says no littering. Wait till there's no sign, and then you can throw them out the window. Joking. Look at that. Look at the dash cam. It's got night vision.
Right?
And it records all of our audio, too. That's spectacular.
That's right.
Does this have cruise control? Oh my gosh, dude, the steering wheel is so crooked.
It was?
Yeah, it's like 2 inches off.
Yeah, it needs alignment. Guys, I just installed my system. I have a Focal FPP 4100 bridge 1 and 2 for my mids and highs, drivers size 3 and 4 for the passenger side, and given my speakers 240 RMS to 80 watts focals. Is that too much for a headroom?
No. Okay. Here's what you have to know about when you put a lot of power to speakers like that. I'm a big fan of it. I love putting as much power to my mids and highs as I possibly can.
Yeah.
Allows me to keep my gain down all the way. That's the key. Keep the gain down all the way. As far as headroom goes, that's one of those topics that the term using it like that, bad. A lot of people use that word, but in the wrong groups, people, that's not headroom, that's not what that means, blah, 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 blah. But anyways, I get what you're saying, and it all falls into the same basic page. If you have the right crossover settings, if you have the right gain settings, you can put just a ton of power to your speakers and get amazing sound out of them, get the depth, get the feel, because not everyone, but a lot of people underpower their speakers, and that happens more often than not. So anytime you get the opportunity to overpower your speakers, yes, you do have to pay attention, but I feel you have to pay less attention than you would if you're underpowering them, because you're always wanting it louder, and in this case, it's loud enough.
Yeah.
So.
Next vacation, go to Canada and go see Install Ninja. I heard Install Ninja. Shaughnessy. Yeah. Well, one of the big plans for us to go, that was going to Canada
to go see iData.
To see iData, and our good friend Mark, he was trying to make it possible, and hey.
That's a spot Haley wants to vacation.
Yeah.
I don't know why. She's just so fascinated with Canada.
Hey.
So
yeah.
At some point we'll get up there. I don't know when or why or how.
You probably get before than we get.
I don't think I'll go up there for car audio. Probably just have to.
That's what I'm saying. You probably get before like the show goes.
I mean, I really wanted to. I mean, yeah. Anyways, that's.
I just want to go to iData.
I wanted to go to iData too.
2019 Tundra. JBL with the dash speakers and the tweeters on the same loop. Can you replace the speakers and amplifier and keep them to the same channels? Dash and speakers and the tweets.
So an Amp Pro.
All right. So a 2019 Toyota. Hang on. 2019 Toyota JBL. The dash.
The dash and the
tweeters
are on this are parallel. It's a parallel circuit. So if it depends what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do like a three-way passive set or a three-way active set. Anytime we're doing a set of speakers in the Tundra, which we just did, we rewire the mid-range. So we add in a third wire for the mid-range because, you know, we're typically doing a three-way set, there again, passive or active, and we need that third wire to tie in for the crossover. The nice thing is it's by what you have to do is when you pull the mid-range out of the dash, there's the plug in that needs to be cut off.
Yeah.
Put back into the car.
Yeah. And
what that will do is keep the tweeter playing because it's a pass-through.
Yeah.
Then you run your own wires up to the mid-range. It's super clean. It's the easiest way to do that because you don't have to, you know, you just run wires up to the dash. So it's not a hard thing. You're not going through Molex or anything like that. As far as keeping the factory radio, you can do that with an Amp Pro or a DSR-1 going AR. If you go with the AR DSR-1, you can remove the factory amplifier. If you go with the Amp Pro, you got to keep the factory amplifier, but you may need a T-harness to get all your speaker wires and stuff like that. But yeah. It's not that car's not that bad. I'll take one of those any day of the week over an F-150.
I want to hear your best dad joke.
Best dad joke? I suck at dad jokes.
I don't have jokes.
You are, yes, you do. When you open your mouth, there's usually something funny coming out of it. Because I have to go, what is he saying? You got me so many times this week. I was like, we're regressing. What are we talking about?
I guess just comes like that. I don't think about it.
Well, you get excited.
I probably.
And you're tired. So
yes, I am tired.
Yeah, which is great that we're taking a road
trip. Look what I'm doing. I'm like, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I think I'm doing this, and it has to be this one. Dude, I'm totally tired.
But no, I suck at dad jokes. Haley's better at that than I am, and she'll just call me out and go, "Oh, that's like a bad dad joke," and I'll be like, "Well, I'm a dad."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Car fabricator now is a home audio installer. You have a car audio. What do you have in your home?
I have an audio control receiver. I have Morel front stage, so I have matching three-way. So Morel, when I bought my system, didn't make a center channel, so I bought 3 tower speakers, and one of them is just turned sideways. It has a 1-inch dome tweeter, a 3-inch dome mid-range, and a 8-inch woofer that I use as a mid-bass because I have 2 12-inch and band passes in the corner. The left and right are powered off an Onkyo M504. The left and right subwoofer are also powered off of a matching Onkyo M504. The center channel and the rear speakers that are in the ceiling are powered off of an Adcom, I think I have 35. It was a 3-channel amplifier they made that had the same amount of power as the M504s.
Yep.
I have a Laserdisc player. I have a 300 disc CD player that never get used. They're just hidden. I have a giant surge protector from Panamax. Giant Panamax surge protector. We always watch Apple TV.
So I actually have
you got a sweet deal.
The towers of of energy towers.
Let me tell you something about what Fernando ended up with before he tells you what he got. So John Schneid, the guy the rep for Kicker, is also the rep for Focal. All right, and he calls me up one day and says, "Hey man, do either one of you guys need a home stereo?" He goes, "I know you have one, so just ask Fernando if he wants a home stereo." And I said, hey, Fernando, you want a home stereo? And of course, he pops his little head up, not knowing what the heck I said. And I said, do you want a home stereo? And he's like, looking at me like, what are we talking about? I go, yeah, he wants a home stereo. Like 2 days later, John shows up with this equipment. Okay, now tell him what you have.
All right, it's a pair of Energies. Towers.
They're like 4 feet or 5 feet tall.
Yes. Yeah.
They're about as tall as you are.
Yeah, exactly. Center channel.
Matching.
Same thing. Pioneer receiver.
No, it's an Elite.
It's
receiver.
Elite Pioneer receiver.
Yeah. Let's get that right. There's a big difference between a Pioneer and an Elite.
In a Velodyne subwoofer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Free.
Yes.
Oh my God. The only thing he had to do was the tops, the piece of plastic on the Energies. Was that what they're called?
The Energies, yes.
Yeah, it was the plastic had gone sticky, kind of like a Volkswagen Dash. And he had to clean that off because it was irritating. But what did you use to clean it off?
And the best way to do that, that was
lighter fluid.
Yes. Mouthwash.
Mouthwash?
Mouthwash.
There you go.
Yes. So you just grab it and clean it.
These things were brand new, man. Other than that sticky top, and he cleaned it off. They look brand new. They sound amazing. And got it for free.
I hook it up, and
oh.
I can turn it off because, of course, my wife and the kids are like, oh, it's too low and everything. So just wait for that moment they leave.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I turn it off.
And then the neighbors call.
Hey,
it's Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. Yes, man. We have an Instagram video of that. If you guys just want to check it out, just go through the videos. And
just go through like 2,000 Instagram
you will
videos.
Find it.
Oh my God. But that was actually pretty cool. That was nice. He gave you another. You got like 2 amplified subwoofers.
I have a rear. No. It's just 1 amplifier, but I have a rear set of
bookshelf speakers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he literally empties his garage.
Oh, the whole thing.
Here's everything. I don't need any of this crap. Wasn't there like 2 receivers too?
No, that was 2 subwoofers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I was just looking at it going.
Yeah, 2 subwoofers.
Dang, boy.
But the Velodyne is what's doing the deal right now.
Oh, of course it is. It's Velodyne. Booyah.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was nice. That definitely upgraded you from the sound bar.
Do you guys ever do the lossless music video to connect the head unit?
No, we didn't do that. How are you doing it with yours? Did you ever figure that out?
Yeah. Okay. You just gotta go into the settings, and you gotta put it how high you want it. Now, keep in mind, it's gonna eat your battery like crazy. My battery goes crazy.
Your battery dies?
My battery dies when I play.
Your storage too.
Yeah. Only if you download the music.
Right.
If you are on Wi-Fi, you play the high-res music perfectly fine. If you for example, right now, if I'm gonna play, I have to download that song and my.
All right. Well, how are you connecting it to your GS9?
USB, the micro USB.
So, but what I'm saying is, out of your phone, what are you using?
The lightning cable to the camera adapter.
That's. Are we back?
All right.
We're back. We know at some point this is going to drop, so I apologize if this. All
right, guys, we are in the middle of probably I don't know where we are.
Well, honestly. We know. Well, this uses AT&T, so AT&T is going to drop. Anyways, back to what I was saying.
Yeah.
We just did a Mazda Miata where the guy wanted a full high-res audio system, and what he was doing out of his iPhone was he goes out of the iPhone to the camera kit, out of the camera kit into the THX little Bluetooth, not Bluetooth, but little dongle DAC.
Okay.
And then out of that into the aux on the back of the radio. So he's feeding everything in that way, and that's how he was getting his high res into the radio. But, so there's no great way to do it yet. I think we're going to see more solutions for this probably next year or later at the end of this year. I'm hoping Apple will, in the next iteration of this phone and or once, it's great that they finally did it. We've been waiting for them to do it for years. Now that they've done it, it's like, okay, well, give me the integration portion of it. If you're using wireless CarPlay, you should have nothing to worry about because it'll just stream over wireless CarPlay in that because it's Wi-Fi. It's a bigger pipe. Bluetooth ain't gonna do nothing.
All right, two-way Morel hybrids, two-way system.
Okay.
Or spend the money and have the pillars, the post speaker pods made to run a three-way set.
Ooh.
Spending the money on custom speaker pods, it's really worth it?
Well, okay, so here's the deal.
El Fuego.
Think of it this way. If you're going to spend the money to get the pods, you could just go with the Elates. You know what I mean? If you're going to buy hybrids, and then you're going to go a hybrid three-way set, and then have pillars, I would just go with a set of two-way Elates.
Yeah.
Because that's going to sound amazing.
Yeah.
So that might be a better move, is getting the two-way Elates, put that in the car, and moving on from there. But as far as whether you want pillars, if you're going to have to go down to, like, say, a Virtus or something like that, just so you can afford it all, I don't know. I mean,
yeah.
When we were with Brian Mitchell in his pickup truck, and he was listening to it, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't do a three-way set in this. And he's like, I know. And then we went right from that pickup truck, and we sat in the Challenger. Challenger.
And the Challenger.
And that had a three-way set. And I was like, dude, there's almost no difference between the two-way set you had in your pickup truck and the three-way set you had in the Challenger. It's very subtle. Like, you have to be like, ah, there it is. So, and he was like, yeah, I know. And that's, he goes, I might be thinking about this, but, he's always going to do a three-way set because he competes. But,
yeah,
it's, I'm not a big fan of A-pillars. I think they typically look ugly. Unless they just look ugly. Mostly A-pillars, no offense. They're beautiful, but they just look ugly in the car. So
some of them, man.
I don't know. I've never been like, oh my god, like.
I really appreciate the work that these guys do, and they put tons of time and work. John Schneider is one of the
Ultimate Audio out in Orlando.
Yes.
Jesus, these are probably some of the most expensive A-pillars I've ever seen in my life.
Well, now that you talk about these plays, Ultimate Audio, right now, like lemon color. 2020
I would
Civic.
buy this truck so I wouldn't have to put a system in it.
All right, this is the question that we're gonna ask Kicker. If they're gonna sell the truck, Dean is gonna buy it.
Wow, I hope Sue doesn't watch this feed.
Just don't tell Sue, okay? And Haley, this is gonna be in between us guys. Come on. If they want to sell it, and they're gonna give us a good deal, Dean will pay for it.
But then I gotta drive home.
Jesus, man. Yeah, but that can be in another day, right?
Oh, we'll just leave it up there?
We just fly there and come back.
Oh my god.
Do you like the idea?
No!
I think it's a really nice idea. All right.
Yeah.
Let me know if it's a good idea.
Jeez, I'll just shake the tree in the backyard and money will fall out. Right?
But that's what it is.
Keep donating, guys.
There you go. Just keep donating. See if we can have
Jesus.
2020 Civic DM608 and a 5-channel. The input gain section on the audio control program, I play 1,000 hertz test tone. The volume up, but the mic.
No, man.
Or max light don't turn on.
No, it's not going to.
Using only fronts.
Yeah.
Full range. Do the EQ.
Okay.
Then set the gains.
All right. No. Let's start over here. First things first. If you got a 2020 Civic, here. Okay. He's got a DM608.
608. Yes.
All right. Here's what you need to do before you do anything. Take your connect to the front two speakers. Go open up the obviously the software. Go to your input section. On your input section, play pink noise out of the head unit and set the radio to flat. Turn all the EQ off in the everything needs to be on flat. Turn that volume up, okay? And on the input section of the RTA, you'll see on the bottom of the page, you'll see what that signal is coming out of that radio. There's going to be a bunch of dips in there, and one of them is somewhere around 1,000 hertz. All right. Now, if you run the auto EQ at that point, what it's going to do is it's going to try to fix the electrical signal coming out of that Honda and set it to the audio control house curve. All right. At that point, if you don't want to go any further, you can, but now you can set your gains. If you set your gains and the factory EQ going into the amplifier has a dip at 1,000 hertz, which a lot of them do, you're going to set the gain wrong because there's a dip there. All right. So that's why, when people ask, when do you set your gains? I set after I'm done because, or I DEQ it to flat so that then I can set my gains. With the audio control, it just gives you the option to do the house curve. Mm-hmm. So I would recommend doing that, and then at that point, go crazy with your gains, do all that funness. But you keep in mind, if you set your gain and you do the -5 dBs, then you're going to have to go back and look at what it did when it fixed the signal. So if it pushed a bunch of signals up, and remember, because -5 dBs is not negative, it's a positive. You're getting 5 dBs of boost over 0. Uh-huh. If your auto EQ has raised a bunch of frequencies, you're already done that. You're already got a 5 dB boost in those frequency ranges. So now if you do a -5 dB on top of that, you could be looking at like 11, 12, 15 dBs of boost. And that's called blown speakers. So that's why reserving or turning, waiting till the end can sometimes be better.
Yeah. Let me see.
What do you want to see?
I want to see the next question.
Okay, no problem. How are we doing?
We doing good.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, X-Men is in the house. Thank you for the 10, man.
X-Men.
Thank you for the
Still got
10.
that water bottle, man.
I still got my water, too.
Yeah, I just look at it every day and go, I really want to drink that.
Somebody say, keep it as a 5-star truck instead of the kicker truck. I was thinking about it, I was like, I would put a 5-star logo over the Gator wraps. In the back, I just put a 5-star logo back there because this is a cool wrap, man. It's a cool wrap, but I would not give it as a kicker.
I don't know. My neighbors walked by the house this morning, and this guy goes, "Bro, that's a cool wrap."
I would make something that says Car Stereo Lab.
I don't know if I got to do all that crap. It's just
you have to. Now
this
you
is
committed.
Something you buy and you beat up for 2 years and then you sell again. I mean, it's a 2015. I mean, give me a break.
What's up, Nando? Is Dean driving at a speed limit?
Yes, yeah. I'm doing 71 right now and a 70.
Yeah.
They were very specific, said, please don't speed in our truck. And I go, no problem.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what, doing 70 in this thing feels like I'm doing 100 with these big-ass tires. So, no, we're good. This thing's swimming all over the road like a fish.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. Beautiful drive.
Beautiful drive.
This is why I drive a sports car now, by the way, instead of a pickup truck. I used to drive a Dodge Ram. I've had 3 Dodge Rams back to back for about 13 or 14 years.
Yeah.
I was a Dodge guy. I had a bunch of Dodge Rams. The reason why I bought a Dodge Ram is because for a small period of time, I was a rep.
Yeah.
In Florida, and the company I worked for repped Alpine, and they had a Dodge Ram. Mm-hmm. And so I had to drive all over the place with this Alpine Dodge Ram, and I had never driven a truck before.
Okay.
Like as a real thing. And I was like, I fell in love. I was like, oh my God, I love this thing. So I went out, when I got done driving the Ram and had to send it back, I had just bought a Honda Accord like 6 months previous. And on my way back, I stopped at the Dodge dealer and I said, hey, listen, I just bought this. I'm paying this much a month. I got this many years on it. If you could put me in a Dodge Ram for the same amount of money, I'll be back tomorrow and buy your Dodge Ram. The guy called me the next...
Go back. Hang on. We go back.
All right. So Axeman was asking about his
Honda. Yes. If we go out and come back, just AT&T, man. All right. So I'm going to repeat the question. I don't know if you guys hear it. 2016 CRV, keeping the stock head unit. I want the audio control DM 1300.5 with the DSP. Focal flags components up front. What's for the rear fill and a sub, a small sub?
So here's the option. Here's the question. Do we want to go active front stage? Mm-hmm. So if we're going to go active front stage, which would be really nice, because then we'll have a great front stage, go off to the subwoofer. Basically, we're looking at a front stage upgrade.
Yeah.
Then I just put like a set of access 6.5s in the back, just something to
I
power
agree.
off the radio, or better yet, probably just go integration. Okay?
Agree.
Because the integration basically has the same tweeter as the Focal Flax. However, the mid bass isn't, the magnet's a little bit smaller, and if we're going to be powering those off of the factory radio, then we don't need to go crazy and go full access and then spend that money that we would spend on that for like sound treatment, because sound treatment is way more important than a set of rear speakers. Now, if we're looking to go front rear sub, that's when it's like, okay, well, if you're going to do flax up front, you might as well do flax in the rear, because why would you want to put a bunch of power to a cheap speaker for the rear door? You know, so if we got 100 watts going to a set of Focal Flax up front, and we go like a set of integrations in the back with 100 watts, it's just going to be like a waste. So at that point, I would recommend going with it. You know, it's money, but I would go with a set of Focal Flax to match, and then we have a nice matched system. Everything's going to sound right, same tweeter, same mid. You know, we can tune it accordingly. So 2 different ways to think about the same system and how you want to spend your money. Personally, I'm more of a fan of the front stage upgrade, and the money that I would spend on putting rear Focal Flax, I would spend on sound treatment, fast rings, and all that stuff.
You know, one of my things, and we always talk about this, is like, don't get me wrong. If you as a customer want to put a set of K2s in the rear field, I will be happy to do that.
Oh, I think it's a great idea.
I think it's a great idea.
K2s up front.
Yes, going all active, that's fine, but
power them accordingly.
Yes, exactly. But sometimes it's like,
well, I hate when it irritates me. I know where you're going with this. I hate when we put like 120 watts to a really nice set of front speakers and 120 watts to a really crappy set of rear speakers.
Yes.
It's like, why are we doing this?
Yes. I would rather to spend that money on the front and
go active.
Go active, totally.
Yeah, I agree.
How do you say?
We concur.
How do you say Superman and Iceland person? How do you say that?
Iceland Superman? I don't know, man. I don't know. Although I will say,
Iceland?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I did watch Gordon Ramsay when he went to Iceland. It was either Iceland or Greenland. I think it was Iceland. Oh my God, he had to eat that fish. Ooh, that was some crazy, like the fermented fish that they do. He's like this. I love Gordon Ramsay, and like just watching his facial expressions as they pulled the lid off that bucket and that smell just hit him. It's like, oh my God, because I could just imagine how bad that is. Hey, Cracker Barrel. He's never eaten at a Cracker Barrel.
Never eaten Cracker Barrel.
My goal is, of course, to change that on this trip, but we'll see, because I'd rather go to what's that place where they have the biscuits that Tommy always talks about? At Hi-Fi Vega, just posted pictures of it.
Dude.
Crap. Someone will know. They got like the blueberry biscuits with white creamy stuff all over the top of them.
Vogan Veg?
Huh?
Vogan Glass?
No, it's no.
I have.
Oh, he's trying to say super.
Yeah. No. Vogan Glass? I have no idea.
Bojangles.
Hey, oh, sure. Bojangles?
Like I said, he says funny stuff all the time.
There you go.
Bojangles. Yes.
Sounds like bull.
Yeah, I know. It sounds stupid. Bojangles. Yeah, they got really good chicken biscuits, apparently.
All right. Running tweeters active. Crossovers. 4,500. They crackle when the bass hits.
Okay. First thing you'd want to try. Okay, so first thing is try playing the same song with the subwoofer turned all the way down to see if they still crackle. Because what happens sometimes is it's audible. It's the sub interfering with the signal. Not it's an audible distortion, not a physical electrical distortion. So the first thing I would do is see, is it actually happening to the signal coming out of the tweeter? And you can do that by turning the subwoofer down, playing at the same volume, and see what happens. If it is, your gain is up too high. That's all that's happening. You have it crossed over 4,500 hertz, which is plenty high, but if it's distorting, that's because your gain is too high, and or the song that you're listening to is recorded in such a crappy manner that it's bleeding through. My guess would either be gain, or it's an anomaly happening that isn't really happening. Like it's screwing with your ears.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Because like this one, when we turn this up, the mids and highs automatically sound like they're doing bad things, and they're not. It's just the subwoofer is so loud, it's screwing with your ears.
Yeah. I have 2 extra channels left on my JL amplifier.
Nice.
I am already running a 10-inch subwoofer, but I have a DD Audio 6.5 loaded enclosure. It is a 250 watts RMS, and I can send it 200 from that JL. Is it a good idea?
So this is one of those weird times where, you know, the question always is, I want to run 2 10s and 2 12s, or I want to run a 10 and a 12, or a 10 and a 15. As long as they're crossed over at different frequencies, I mean, technically, yes, you could run them, you know, but it's like if you wanted to use the 6.5 as a mid bass, and it's not interfering with the sound that's coming from the other speaker, then yeah, there's a reason why you can't. But if you're trying to put them both in there that are going to both be subwoofers and they're both going to play, you know, 80 hertz and below, you could get cancellation from that because you have two different sine waves playing sound waves playing the exact same sound, but you know, not the same mirrored sound waves. Jesus, sorry.
All right.
The best example of that is if you ever go to the beach and you see waves that are coming at triangles towards each other, one of two things is going to happen. They're either going to couple and become large, or they're going to immediately erase themselves and just go to flat, calm water. So when you have different size woofers, it's tricky to make them couple. So that's what you're trying to do. It might be harder than it's worth.
Hi from Iceland.
Hey.
Can you try to say Batman on Icelandic?
Batman.
No, it's not. It is really, I don't know.
I mean, I don't speak Icelandic. Is there a class? I'm willing to learn.
I don't know. What happens if I say something like that and it's a really bad word?
I have a hard enough time just trying to speak English.
I'm gonna find out how to, and then probably we're gonna come back on that one.
Oh no, just use Google, man. Use Google Translate, bro. That's what I do. I know. I'm just saying. No.
Oh, the exact. Yeah.
Dude, I was speaking to a Spanish guy. I just haven't talked to my phone through Google Translate.
Ooh, I love Ramstein.
You like what?
Ramstein.
Ramstein? Brownstein?
Yeah, it's a band.
Okay.
Like a metal band.
Yeah. Ramstein. Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I thought you said Brownstein.
Sounds closer.
I mean, might when we get done with this trip, but whatever.
Yeah. Fan of the truth. Thank you, man. You gotta go.
Don't worry, you'll be able to come back later. We'll be doing this all night long. We're gonna pop in and out.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, we'll do what we can. We want to have as much Q&A as possible. It'll make time go by for us a hell of a lot faster, but we know as it gets later, you know, and the West Coast starts going to sleep.
Yeah, no kidding.
We probably won't have as much people asking questions. But this is a great time to get your questions in because, well, we got time.
All right. So with the 3.5 tweeter fit and the 2021 Blazer seems to be the same as the Silverado.
The Silverado has a 2-inch diameter. It's like 2 1/4 inch diameter speaker.
Okay.
So as long as the tweeter, what size were they asking?
It's a 2021.
No, what size tweeter did they have?
3.5.
Oh, so 3.5 inch.
Like a middler?
According to Nick Wingate, who put the Illusion 3.5 in his dash, there is some cutting that you have to do. As long as you're not afraid to do some cutting, then there is room for the speakers up in the dash. But there is some cutting required. Now, that was on his Chevy Silverado. As far as the Blazer goes, I don't know. We haven't had one in to see what kind of room there is around it. But it is definitely, you know, you're looking to put another inch in there. And that's what she said.
Are you guys going to be working in 2 weeks? I'll be in the...
Yeah.
We're gonna be there. I'll be back on Tuesday night.
So you'll be back to work on Wednesday. I'll be back to work on Thursday. I leave Saturday for a family gathering trip to spend some time with the girls because I haven't seen them in 2 weeks. But then we're free until October. We have a trip that we haven't even talked about yet.
We can't yet.
In October, which we'll be talking about next, if not next week, the week after. We're not going to talk about it on this because it's another company, so we don't want to overlap brands. This is a kicker thing. Obviously, we're answering questions about other products. It's totally fine. But at the heart of this, Kicker is allowing us to do this, so we're going to talk about that. Where we're going to be going in October is another manufacturer. And we want to make sure that they get their time in the sun, as it were, just like we had audio control. We have Kicker now, and then we have somebody else coming in October. And that's going to be our hat trick for the year. We're super excited. And then after October, as long as everything stays according to plan, in November, we'll be back out at SEMA with audio control. And rumor has it is that we'll be with Steve Mead on that one. So I'm pretty excited about that. You'll get some time to hang with Steve. What is John texting me? Don't read it. Just flick it up.
I know.
Stop texting me, John. Anyways, so other than that, I don't think we have anything planned.
No. So we're gonna be working.
We'll be working, and we're working really hard to get all this time off.
I know, right? I'm still delivering package for Amazon, so keep me company.
Oh my gosh.
It's gonna be long, 18 to 20 hours, so you probably.
I don't even think we've done 100 miles yet. So I mean, we're not even out of Florida.
Silly question. All right, so Didion has a question.
Okay.
Have you noticed how many more likes or views you got on reverse polarity since 14.4 talk has been on the show? It's triple.
Is it triple? Honestly, I have no idea. I don't.
So now you guys are three-way?
I don't really look at the comments so much on that one. I'm obviously a co-host on that one for Hi-Fi. I'm there to be the Egg McMahon. And so I let him kind of steer the show whichever way he wants it to go. It's his channel, so if it's good for him, then it's good for me, and I'm just there to help in any way that I can. But I don't really look at that stuff. I barely look at it on ours. So I just too busy trying to stay focused and just make cool stuff.
Are you guys going through Kentucky? I don't think
we
so.
are not going through Kentucky. Kentucky is north of where we're going to be. We're sticking to the lower south.
Yeah, exactly.
The dirty south.
December, 30 days on Christmas. From Christmas. Yes.
God, I can't wait for Christmas.
Oh, hang on.
Yes, I'm hanging. I'm for dear life.
And December is 30 days of Christmas. I don't think we're gonna do the
12 days of the 30 days.
The 30 days of Christmas. I don't think we're gonna do that right now.
Okay. So here's what I'm thinking. If we do anything, it's not going to be like last year, because this year there is no products to be had.
All right.
Nobody
to
has
be honest,
anything.
I don't want to do nothing like that, just because how rough for these manufacturers has been to try to get products. And for us just to give away, I get it, is really cool. But
it was. And last year, like we said last year,
it was amazing.
Never happen again.
No.
So there's, if anything, we may be able to do like a tchotchke thing where we give away like lanyards and mugs and hats, and banners,
but I don't think it's gonna be a product like that.
Last year was a one in a lifetime thing, man. That was insane.
Yes.
That was what, like $20,000-$30,000 worth of stuff. I mean, it cost. I spent $2,500 on shipping alone. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. So we might do something. I mean, if worst comes to worst, we could do a T-shirt giveaway where we give away 5-star T-shirts. But it won't be on the level that was. That was just crazy. I can't see any manufacturer wanting to take part in that this year. And to be honest with you, I don't want to ask them, because it's.
All right. We are.
So we're talking about the ZZ.
If
ZZ
it works
Air,
in this,
if it
in
work
this
in
truck,
this, and I was saying how it would work in a Chrysler, because I've tested it in a Dodge when we drove to. So what I did is we drove to Tennessee, that 10-hour trip, that whole 10 hours, because everyone always says, "Oh, wireless kills the battery." 10-hour trip, streaming music, phone, or the navigation, and the phone was on the whole time. 10 hours, battery was fine. I mean, we got there, and I still used the phone to film The Boring Life of Dean and Haley. For all you guys that are, wireless kills the battery, you're insane. It does not kill the battery. It worked wonderfully. But yes, in the Dodge Caravan, it worked flawlessly. It was
Say
wonderful.
hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
That's her.
Hi, Jennifer.
That's Bobby's wife.
Oh, hey.
How you doing?
Hey.
We are the dudes.
We are the dudes.
The car stereo dudes.
Sitting in the back seat, holding our camera bags.
Right there.
What are we looking at?
Just,
the wall?
Just the wall.
Yeah. It's a Ram.
I'm literally behind the wall.
There we go. Now it's a nightclub.
Woo!
Yeah.
El Fuego, thank you for the 5, man. High Five Vega is doing his 12 days of Christmas live streaming, and 5-star will be there. Are you will be there?
Yes.
Sure.
Of course.
I know, guys. AT&T sucks, dude.
AT&T. I've had AT&T forever now, and it's great where we're at. North Florida kind of sucks. Nothing worked here in California unless you had T-Mobile. I don't think it matters, man. Every carrier has.
I have Verizon.
Yeah.
And sometimes it
just sucks.
Every company sucks.
Yeah. I mean, my
every company sucks until they sponsor us.
I look at it this way: the crazy amount of money that I pay for my phone bill, they kick in HBO Max. So to me, that makes it all worth it. I don't have to pay that $15 a month for HBO Max. And
it's funny. I got Disney Plus from Verizon.
Oh, from Verizon. Yeah.
Yes.
So.
All right.
I mean, I'm probably paying for it twice.
Head unit does 4 or 8 ohm speaker.
Yeah.
But both front doors have a tweeter and a 6.5 wire together.
Yeah.
Both are 4 ohm.
Yeah.
And the stock sign.
Yes. So
help me understand.
There's a passive crossover in there.
Yeah.
And that, which is probably just a 6 dB capacitor, but that's enough. Because remember, the thing you have to keep in mind, and this is where a lot of people that don't do this on a daily basis, a speaker does not sit at 4 ohms. That's a resting position. As soon as you place sound in that speaker, the ohm load is going to change. Okay? So the capacitor on the tweeter is changing that ohm load immediately.
Yeah.
The resistors that go into crossovers, the caps, the coils, you can have 6 4-ohm speakers connected to a radio or an amplifier that has a 4-ohm input if you've built your passive crossover properly and or you've designed the voice coils and the speaker properly, which they have. When you go buy a replacement set of components for it, you're going to get a speaker that has some form of passive crossover. That passive crossover is going to allow you, tweeters are actually 6 ohm. A lot of the times they're 6 ohm. Any issues or anything like that. I'll shut that back off so we don't get pulled over.
Thank you so much.
I know. What you doing, boy?
What you doing here, boy?
So anyways, when you're buying your speakers, what you really want to keep in mind is where the tweeter is in relationship to the mid-range. If the tweeter's in the dash and the mid-range is in the door, you want to look for, and you're trying to keep your life simple, you want to look for a speaker that has broken apart passive crossover. And what I mean by that is if you look at like Alpine speakers, all of Alpine speakers, doesn't matter which one, S, R, X, they all use dedicated crossovers that are specifically designed for that individual driver. So the passive crossover for the tweeter is separate from the passive crossover for the mid-range. If you look at a Morel Maximus set of 6.5s, it's the same thing. If you look at the Focal integration, same thing. All the passive crossovers are broken into smaller parts to make it easier for it to install in that configuration. Does Rockford do that on the Punch? I don't remember. I know, no, they don't. Anyways, that's something to keep in mind when buying aftermarket speakers. Now, if you buy a set of aftermarket speakers and they do have a big passive crossover, what we would typically do then is mount the passive crossover behind the radio that I'm replacing and run new wires out to the tweeters. That's the easiest way to do it. Okay.
All right. I don't listen anything too musical.
Okay.
With real instruments. I listen mostly to pop music like Drake, etc. with tons of bass. It's imaging and tuning as important.
100%. 100%. The thing you got to keep in mind is a speaker is going to have a natural sound to it, meaning it's going to want to do a specific thing. If you listen to like your buddy's car that has a bunch of loudspeakers in it, they have a certain sound to them. Usually it's just like, you know, ripping your eyelids off. If you listen to a set of Focals, they're going to sound inherently different than a set of Morels. Some of that is fine, meaning like if you put a set of Focal Flax in a car and you just run them, you know, commando style, meaning no tune, no whatever, it's going to sound great. You're going to get a natural sound of whatever the Focal tune is, per se. It's not really a tune, it's just whatever the characteristics of the speakers are. Where the EQ is going to come in is that the car's environment might also hinder the speaker's ability to perform its duty. So having that EQ allows you to fix things that are happening unnaturally in the car. That's what the EQ does. So is it important? Yeah, it's totally important. Does everybody need to have one? It just depends on how picky you are. But I can tell you right now, if you hop into a system and you know, like I listen to EDM or dance or whatever the heck it is, just because there's not a lot of words and I'm usually thinking of other stuff, so it just plays in the background and I don't have to worry about it. Sounds 100% better on a tune system than it just does running commando style with no tune at all.
Right.
The other thing too is, you know, you buy a set of speakers and you're listening to them, and it's like all of a sudden, you know, you have them for a day or two or a week, and you're like, man, I'm just not happy with the way these tweeters sound. And it might not be the tweeter that sounds bad.
Yeah.
It might just be, let's say you have them up on the dash and they're loading off the windshield, and that's causing some form of a harshness to them. Having an EQ is going to allow you to go in and fix some of that.
Yeah.
Tune it down, put it under control. You know, we've said it before where you take a set of loud horn compression drivers, you put them in a car, put an EQ on them, and it's like, holy crap, these things sound amazing. Because once you've put them under some form of control, they have a great sound to them that is really, really nice and full and rich. But coming straight out, no, they suck. I mean, for me.
All right. Seahawks game, how was the experience? The Seahawks games was awesome, dude. I have an amazing time. I don't know if it did have an amazing time, but I had a blast.
That question is for you, man.
Yes, that was the best time. That was a really nice trip. So thank you to Audio Control and everything. Stephanie, are we going to search for that
bar?
Heckler. That's Heckler. How long is the drive?
I mean, if we were to go start to finish as fast as possible, it's supposed to be like 18 hours, but I mean, we're not doing an eastbound and down up and, you know, Smoking the Bandit thing here, so, you know, we'll see how it goes. I'm thinking it's probably going to be about 24 hours-ish, but, you know, we got till Monday.
All right,
there is a pool waiting for us the sooner we get there.
I'm just looking for a bed.
Wussy.
Hey. Dude, I haven't slept really well
You're breaking
all
my
this
heart.
week. It's crazy. I have a 2018 Hyundai Santa Fe head unit. The head unit is a Stinger High 10
Nice.
to the Addison Bit 1 to the Rockford Fastgate. I'm using a Toslink. There is no sound. Any reason why is no sound?
Bad Toslink cable. So Toslink cables can go bad. There's no question about it. Stinger, I should say, the 17-foot Toslink cables, there was a bad batch of those that we got stuck with, and we had nothing but issues. So I ended up having to go on Amazon and buy just random high-end Toslink cables. But it's probably your Toslink cable's bad. There is a way to test the Toslink cable. You can buy a Toslink to RCA, adapter, and check it out. See if you're getting signal on the other side. Plug it into like a little amplifier. You can get something like that on Amazon for about the price you're going to pay for a really nice cable. But dude, Toslink cables it's glass.
Yeah.
All right, it's a glass tube inside of there. So running them in a car, bad idea.
Yeah,
Totally. You really have to be super careful. Every time you bend that, it can't be bent. It has to be a curve.
The other thing is like you can cut it and then test it.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
But
no.
you can still get light at the end and it not be enough light in order to actually function. That's the problem.
All right. Question for Dean. It's all the questions for Dean. Come on. You have mentioned you are not a big fan of JL. Curious
I have.
as why. Thank for all the communication with us as viewers and great content. Safe travels.
I don't know if I've ever said I'm not a
Well, you said you're not like a big fan.
I'm not a super fan. And I okay, listen. I bought a tweak. I bought a tweak. I love their
Just
software.
to tweak it?
Just to tweak.
Mm-hmm.
I love the VXI amplifiers.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is I'm not a super fan. So kind of think of it like this. There's fans out there for JL Audio that, are like Star Wars fans or Star Trek fans.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I'm a Star Trek fan.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars sucks. And you're like, okay, like there are some people that are just hardcore JL Audio fans. JL makes some great products, just like every other manufacturer. I don't hate on them. I'm just, I don't necessarily want to deal with them in my store.
Yeah.
It's not my store, it's Paul's store. So if Paul decides he wants to sell JL Audio tomorrow, we'll be selling JL Audio. I don't think that'll happen. But no, I think they make great products. I just sometimes people get a little bit too carried away with how cool the brands are. And, they're kind of the mainstream brand where it's like, oh, it's JL or death. And it's like, I don't feel that way. But I have no problem. We've done some awesome JL systems. We've done some C7s not too long ago that were just like, holy these are awesome speakers, man.
Hey, one, I think that will be the third amplifier. The third amplifier when I, start getting into the car audio was the one. There you go. Sorry, guys.
As I was saying,
Welcome
we saw them, JL, turn their software into an RTA, and I'm like, how do we get that? And it's not, it's just an in-house thing that they're doing. But, dude, if JL Audio would do like what Audio Control did and come out with a standalone RTA that could do all the cool things that they showed them for their class, I would be the first one to buy it. I'd be all up in that, man.
Yeah.
They're a bunch of smart guys making really cool stuff.
All right, question for Nando. Do you get upset at each other at other times? And how?
I mean, it's like
dude.
a marriage, dude.
Yes, literally, like.
Oh yeah.
We fight, not physically, but.
We'll argue.
We argue, and.
Well, like I was telling you today, last night I had to go over to my dad's house, and my dad's like, you guys work like 6 days a week, because I was telling him about this trip. He's like, you guys work together 6 days a week, and you've been working together for like 8 years now. What could you guys possibly have to talk about? And I'm like, we talk about everything. I mean, we literally will debate everything. You know, it's like Coke or Pepsi. Let's debate that for 4 hours. And the thing is that we always will play opposite. So even though we both feel the same way about something, one of us will always play the opposite so that we can have the conversation.
Well, keep in mind if you say, you know, this one sounds better, and I say, yeah, okay, end of the conversation.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
And
so
I'm like, no,
one of us
I don't like it.
Yeah,
even if you like, honestly, like 99% of the time, this is right.
Yeah. But we'll still argue about it.
Oh,
and
totally.
It'll still get heated. But it's kind of like that Bugs Bunny commercial where the dog and the fox or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah.
You know, where it's like it's just there for conversation.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything.
No.
But
No.
you know, we have to do something to pass the time.
Totally. Question for Dean: do you have any idea how many times Hi-Fi Vega has tried sliding into 14.4? Okay. I have no idea how many times. Do you know how many times?
I mean, I look at it like this. I feel like the 12V Talk is like the OG, the original, and anything other than that is just a copy.
So we are the copy.
Well, no, we were first. I mean, we've been doing this a really, 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 really long time.
Yeah.
I mean, the Facebook show is the longest running 12 volt.
GNG, thank you for the $4.99, man.
Yeah, we've been doing this live thing 7 years now, 6 or 7 years, or longer. So we've got that one down pat. I had to stop counting because it just was dumb.
Oh yeah. All right.
Because we do like 48 or 44 shows a year.
Yeah.
Because I know we take a couple weeks off for the holidays. There's 52 weeks in a year. We take 2 weeks off for the Mondays that are holidays. And then I figure with vacations and other things, we miss about 5 extra shows.
Yeah.
So that's like 45 shows a year. That's a lot.
Dean, do you think the kicker shallow mounts L7s will be good for a 2002 Dodge Ram 1500?
Ooh, I think they'll be good for anything.
I think that will be good for anything, yes. And they are really nice.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Haley has the downfiring 12 in the back of her car right now, and it's dude. I'm sorry, I was touching my mic. My bad. That woofer, and the thing is like that woofer in no airspace, that factory box, is just ridiculous. I mean, it to me it breaks all things that make sense because you just look at that and you go, "There's no way." And then like we'll put that in the back behind the seat of a Tacoma, and the 110 with like 400 watts. Pardon me, and it's like, oh my God, what the hell just let loose in this car?
All right, people swear on their families that JL audio is the best. Listen,
and no, but that's the reason why when I say stuff about JL, people will say, "Oh, he's a hater." I'm not a hater. I'm not a diehard fan of their products.
Listen.
I love everything.
Talking with Jeff and everything, you know, you find out that these like JL has their own engineers.
Yeah, they're great guys.
They're great guys.
Look, if JL called me on the phone tomorrow and said, "Hey, man, we want you to come out here and do a documentary," I would be like, "Yes, dude, immediately." I would go.
How many times I'm like, dude, I want to go.
They're 2.5 hours away from us.
Yes.
It's like, oh my God, yes, please.
We are not dealers from, you know, JL, but I would love to go and see JL manufacturer, go through it, so you guys can see.
Not only that, but let me get the guys that work at JL are some of the nicest guys.
Yes.
You know, they got
Steve.
The thing is that like a lot of these companies that, you know, you guys never get to meet these people.
Yeah.
You know, like Rockford, Kicker. Kicker, of course, is opening the door. It's like Willy Wonka. JL. But there's a lot of, like, you guys don't get to meet these guys. And we get to meet these guys, obviously, because we're in the industry and like, we have to. And it's like everybody there is just like a super cool, great guy. It's exactly what you would think, you know, and they're awesome.
Yeah.
But, you know, I don't drink the Kool-Aid. I just kind of, you know, like smell the
No, but honestly, you appreciate the whole thing that they've been done. The BXI amplifiers, they are.
Unfortunately, you know, like unfortunately, I have one car, so I have to pick one system. But I would love to have, you know, I'd love to have Jay Leno's problems, and just have a like, what do I feel like listening to today? All right, well, I'm going to take that car.
Exactly.
You know?
I definitely want a W6. I believe so.
You want a W6?
Yes. Dude,
You don't want a W7?
I had a W7.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay.
But not for the
I know.
you know, just money problems, so I gotta sell it.
Yeah, checking in a savings account.
I gotta check-ins and savings take like 3 or 4 years to just transfer that, so I had to sell it.
So we need to get a W6?
Yeah.
All right. I'll see what I can do. 10,
Right.
10 or a 12? Or do you want an 8?
No, a 10.
You want a 10? W6
yes, a
10?
A 10.
All right. I'll
Do you
see.
have any recommendations for most powerful 8-inch subwoofer?
The most powerful 8-inch subwoofer. I mean, I really don't keep up on that side of this. I will tell you this. You know, we just did the Bobby Gately Chevy box that had the Bobby Gately 8-inch woofers. There was 4 8-inch woofers in that. And we put a Scar Audio 3.5K on this bitch. And I say that because this thing was evil.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Now, we've done that same box, but we did it with other woofers.
Yeah.
And they weren't as impressive. So, I mean, I give whoever Bobby's having make his woofers, I would check out the Gately 8-inch.
Yeah, definitely.
I know Scott from Power Hog probably has an 8-inch. I don't know, but you know, I would ask him that question because
I mean,
that's
also,
more his speed.
Like for example, Ground Zero has their 8-inch.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of manufacturers have the 8-inch, but what I hear is
the Bobbies were.
The Bobby is like, oh my god,
vicious.
Even the Q class. I think they have an 8-inch.
Yeah, you know, but I've done that. Like we did that in a a couple years ago in a Avalanche. The guy did that in his Avalanche, and it was nothing like that. That was actually kind of weak.
Sorry, guys. Yeah.
Oh no, was it Avalanche or an F-150? It was an F-150. We did it in an I know, right? An F-150, of course. But we did 4 Q Class 8s in an F-150, and nowhere near as ridiculous as those 4.8s in the Bobby Gately box.
Oh yeah. I have a Rockford T400.4. Can I put my Bose 101 6-ohm rated? I have a 4 of those. Thank you.
So we got a 6-ohm speaker, and we want
6-ohm rated. Yeah.
6-ohm. So the speaker's at 6-ohm.
It's a 400.4.
400.4 is going to be a 2-ohm capable amplifier, meaning the lowest impedance that amplifier can play is 2 ohms per channel. If you take a 6-ohm speaker and put it on there, you're not going to get the 4-ohm power rating, you're going to get less power. So if it's 50 watts by 4 at 4 ohms, 75 watts by 4 at 2 ohms, at 6 ohms, it's going to be like 35 watts.
So it's no.
You can do it. There's no reason why you can't do it. You're just not going to get a lot of power out of it with a 6-ohm load. Now, if you take that amplifier and you bridge it, what you're going to have now is a 3-ohm load, which the amplifier can't do.
Right.
Because that at mono, meaning when you bridge 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, the lowest ohm load it can have is 4 ohm.
Yeah.
2 6-ohm speakers together are going to give you a 3-ohm load. So now you're 1 ohm under what the amplifier is capable of doing, and you run the risk of damaging the amplifier.
Right. Yeah.
So
totally.
it's not that you can't do it, you're just not going to get maximum power out of the amplifier, and then you'll run the risk of turning the gain up and blowing the speakers.
Does Jeff Smith has an Instagram page?
Yes. I don't know what he does on it. It might be family stuff.
I think it's personal.
The other thing too, if those 6-ohm speakers are like loudspeakers or have a high efficiency rating, so if they're somewhere up around 93 to 95 in efficiency, that 30 watts to those speakers will be plenty. Like that'll be stupid loud.
Yeah.
So as long you can trade ohm load for efficiency and still be plenty loud.
High Five Vega, he's gonna go to sleep. He's tired.
Wussy. What time is it?
Right now it's 10:30.
It's 9:30 where he lives. Give me a break.
No, he's not going to sleep. He's probably gonna do something else.
He's probably gonna go watch a movie.
Movie sounds good.
Go watch What If. That's what I watched when I
What
got
If?
home. I watched the What If. Oh, that's a great side base.
Oh! Alright, so you can see me closer.
Yeah.
I am Batman.
Easy there. You're more like Tattoo.
Okay.
You probably never saw that comedian.
Yes, I do.
I am the Batman. No, you're Tattoo from Fantasy Island. No, I am the Batman. You got a Batmobile? No, I got a Bat Cordoba. I got a lot stored up in this head of mine.
What happened if I don't plug in my bass knob on my monoblock?
Nothing.
Will it hurt anything?
No, won't do anything. Okay, here's what you do to find out if it'll hurt something. Because the answer to that question is no, it shouldn't do anything wrong. However, companies like Pioneer, the bass knob is a volume/bass boost.
Yeah.
So if you don't plug in the knob, the amplifier sounds very lifeless and dull. You plug the bass knob in, turn it up, and it's like, oh my gosh, my amplifier sounds spectacular now. If you buy most amplifiers, like Pioneer is really the only one I've ever seen do dumb things like that. Most amplifiers are built around the fact that it's just a level control, because they're expecting you to have the ability, or you're expecting them to have the ability to use some form of external subwoofer control via, or possibly you have multiple amplifiers and you want to do like a grouped subwoofer volume control. Like the really cool thing about these KX amplifiers is that the subwoofer volume control for it is this cool Bluetooth piece right here, and you can pair up to, I don't know, 4 or 5 or 10. I don't know. It's probably 4.
Look.
What am I looking at?
The plane.
The plane.
The plane.
Oh, jeez. We have all 3 of these 2400.1s paired to this one Bluetooth amplifier. There happens to be a perfect shelf for it right here, and so we don't have to do anything. There's little buttons on the amp, and there's a button on the back of the knob. So what you do is you push the amplifier 1, you push that button, and then you push the remote control knob first button, and then you push amplifier 1, and then the first LED will light up when it's paired, and then the amplifier will start to blink to tell you that it's paired. You go to number 2, you push its knob, LED 2 will light up, and then it'll blink to tell you it's paired. And then you go to the third amp, press the button, and then the third LED will light up, and it'll start flashing to tell you it's programmed. And you're done. You've programmed 3 amplifiers to 1 bass knob. It'll control the aftershock, which is like their version of the epicenter. Yeah. It'll also has a clip light indicator built into the remote, so that's kind of cool. But yeah, that's neat. So for those of you guys interested.
All right. I don't know, G&G, best bang for the buck.
What?
2019 2500 with the Alpine system and a 12-inch screen. What are we looking for?
Obviously you're going to do some form of an amp. Depends what you're trying to do, though.
That's what I'm saying.
You got a premium sound system. Anytime you buy a car that has a premium sound system in it, like a Bose or an Alpine or a Bang & Olufsen or a Harman Kardon or a Dre, or insert any name of premium audio. When you're going to do aftermarket audio, you have to go an extra mile. And what I mean by that is it's going to cost you a lot more to upgrade that system than it would if you just had the base model system, because even though it doesn't sound like it, it's actually a pretty good system, and there's a lot of things that they did to get it to sound pretty good. Now you want it to sound amazing, so you can't just put like a couple $1,000 into it and be like, yeah man, it's gonna sound amazing. If you had a base model system, you could do that. You could put like $2,500 in it, throw like a kicker key, some new speakers up in the dash, a sub and whatnot, and you're good to go. That premium audio system, well, first off, you have integration. So you're integrating in either be an Amp Pro of some kind, some brand, whatever. That's going to be $300 to $500. Just to integrate into the radio so that you can get output, which you're going to need, because now we have to add amplifiers, we have to add speakers. Correct. So like you can't put a kicker key in that because you already have a premium audio system. The key doesn't work that well in that. It's not made for that kind of stuff. All right, what happened?
So no, they're talking about the truck, right? So they say they have a GPS on this truck.
This truck does not have GPS.
It totally has GPS. Just see where you are.
Yeah, this truck sucks.
That's what we're gonna buy it.
Yeah, I would totally buy it. Just so people look at me strange, as if they don't already.
Yeah. Hey, Oscar, what's up, brother?
Oscar's in the house.
It's Rockford Fosgate Power T400 and the T750.1. It's a good setup.
Oh, it's
Dude,
my favorite.
One of the best setups.
Dude,
yes.
I will tell you though.
Yeah.
They have the new T's that are the M5.
Yes.
Okay, and they have an 804.
Yes.
And we just dynoed that the other day for Rockford. We didn't publish it because they asked us to do it.
Just to check it out.
They said, hey, could you guys have one of these in stock? Well, again, I said, could you dyno it real quick and send us the numbers? And we're like, of course. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that amplifier
is what it is.
So when we dyno it, we just dyno left and right, channel 1 and 2. We load down channel 3 and 4 on a resistor bank that we have, which we showed you guys in videos like when we did the 5 channel and another 4 channel. Anyways, oh my God, what was like 140 watts a channel?
Yeah.
140 watts a channel on the new 800.
I'm not gonna say like 100% yes, but yeah,
that was a lot. It's on my phone, or we could check. But oh my God, it might even been more. It was a stupid amount of power.
Dude, you'd be like, what?
Dude, and not only that, like if you bridged it, so like if you were doing like 2 channels up front, 1 channel for sub, it was ridiculous how much power came out of that thing bridged. The only downside to it is it's the M5 series, so it's got those crazy umbilical, waterproof cables, which, obviously you can kind of take them off and get yelled at by, Rockford for doing that. But, Jesus.
All right, so repeat what you say.
Did we? Oh, was it dead?
Yeah. That was not all the way, but.
All right, so what I was saying is, I don't know where I left off, but.
System 404.
So what we like to do is, one of our favorite 5 channels is obviously, like when we don't have a lot of room, we'll do the 404 and the 750.1. But what we'll be doing a lot of lately is if we're going to do like a DSR1, I'll talk to the customer and try to get them to bump up the price a little bit more and buy a 402 also. So we do a 404 to power the tweeters in the rear, a 402 to power the front mid bass, and then the 750.1 to power the subwoofer. The great thing about all this is all these amplifiers take 8-gauge power wire.
Yeah.
It's like, it's a silly amount of power that you get on this one tiny little plate. But that is kind of our go-to. Now, what are these idiots doing? If you don't need a ton of sub bass, like if you're just going to do 1 sub, then what we'll do is we'll go with the 1005 and a 402.
Yeah.
So we'll take the 1005, do the same thing, channel 1 and 2 tweeters, 3 and 4 rear, 402 mid bass, and then the 500 watts that come out of the subsection to power just 1 sub. So depending on what we're doing, that's kind of the combination we've been running with a lot lately. And man, it's so nice. Oh my God, it's so nice.
What device did Kicker use to split all the RCAs in that truck?
I believe these amplifiers, don't they have an in and an out? I think there's a DSP somewhere. Honestly, I don't know.
Maybe.
I was gonna ask them if they hid something in here.
Not like we can pop it out.
No, there's like a million screws. I don't want to deal with it. But I think the amplifiers have inputs and outputs. But either way, Y jacks are fine. You can just Y jack as many as you want together. You're not going to lose any voltage.
He said, I just looked up the Bobby Gailey subs, going to look into that.
There you go. Hey, make sure you say when they said, where did you hear about us? 5-star.
Yes, please. Please say, hey, 5-star told me to buy this.
It won't do anything for us.
No. Just,
maybe he'll call me. I'm a big fan. I'm a fanboy too.
Oh, I'm a big fan of what he's done. Yes. All the
people,
acrylic,
we have people that stop by and want to say hi to us. There's other people in the industry who want to say hi to too.
Totally.
Totally. I mean, especially guys that do really cool work.
Yes. Is the Eclipse PA 5422 4-channel amplifier any good?
An Eclipse?
I
mean, it's like 25 years old.
Okay.
I mean, it's an AB class amplifier. It's 25 years old. Is it any good? If it still plays, yeah, but you got to remember, man, it's 25 years old. It was never made to last that long. So that
I had a 5 1/4 coaxial.
Eclipse?
Yeah.
To me, an amplifier that old is artwork. You just put it up on the shelf and look at it. I mean, or if you don't care about that, run it until it falls apart. But, I mean, yes, it was a good amplifier for its time. That time is come and gone.
Thank you, El Fuego. 100 plus good enthusiasts watching the Smash 4 Productions heading across the country. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, Smash Force Productions. Woo! Some of you guys don't know that's actually what that's the production company that we own that produces all the 5-star content.
This is
because we don't own 5-star car stereo. We just do 5-star.
Yeah. Gambler 499. Thank you, man. When is Nando gonna drive?
When I get to wherever we're going and we switch.
Are you tired? Are you tired?
How can I be tired? Yeah. No.
You're not tired?
I'm not tired.
You're not tired?
Dude, I drank an iced tea. If anything, I'll probably have to pee before I get tired.
That's another iced tea right there.
Yeah, it's empty. I might be using it to fill up. I mean, we've been driving for all of like
Saludos,
an hour
Florentino.
Yeah. We left at 8:30. It's 10:40. We got 2 hours.
You're perfectly fine. You can handle it all the way.
Yeah.
Hey, so far on the 2020 Civic with the 608, I find the frequency that shows high on the input RTA plays that test tone.
Yeah.
Says on another video you got is -6. But what if the max light comes on? If I set too high or the number?
Yeah, so remember it's an input RTA. So if you have something that's really high and then you bring it down to what's level with the rest of them, then obviously you can bring everything else back up with your gain.
Yeah.
Running the auto EQ section is going to give that. I mean, I typically don't run the auto EQ. I typically don't even worry about it. I put in the RTA, I play my test tones, I tune the car. That way, I don't worry about gain. My gain is, I actually start with the input gain at like -60 dB. All right, I don't even bother with that. My gains on my amplifiers are low. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start tuning the system with the RTA, and I'm just going to see where my energy is and where my energy needs to be pulled down, where my energy might need to go up, and then I'll reevaluate. At that point, I'll stop and I'll listen to it. And if I need to gain up, like if my mid bass is low, I've got plenty of room to gain up. And now I start to do my blending with my gains. If I need to, I'll just do the gain in the amp, because I'm at -6, so I'll start to bring that up. Yeah. And if I can do it all and have an adequate level amount of sound, I'm done. Everyone gets really worked up about trying to get to the most amount of power I can possibly get out of things. And that's great, but it doesn't always make sense. You're not going to run all the gains at the same setting. Like your tweeter gain is more than likely going to be less than your mid-bass gain because you want your mid-bass to perform. You want to feel that deep bass. You don't need all that energy from those tweeters. So it's kind of thinking about it a little bit differently than you would just if you have front rear sub. If you have front rear sub, you set all the gains the same. Everything plays loud, you go on. But when you're going full active, like I'm assuming you are, the gain becomes a little bit different because now you're not using it as a level control, but you are using it to a level control to some extent because you need to cut or you need to boost. So just it's one of those things that's kind of hard to just talk about. You kind of have to see it, but it's also hard to film. So,
what is your opinion on the JL Audio C1 speakers?
Everybody makes an entry-level speaker, and they're exactly that. Everyone makes an entry-level set of speakers. You name a brand, and they have an entry-level set, and they're there for a reason. They're there for the guy that wants to own that particular brand, and he just wants to own that particular brand. That brand is in his budget. No manufacturer wants to turn you away, all right? Alpine makes S-Type. They also make an E-Type. Kenwood makes their entry-level speakers, regular Kenwood brand.
Everyone makes everyone makes a regular.
Rockford has Prime. Kicker has CS.
Yeah.
So everybody has that $49 to $89 set of speakers.
Yes.
For a reason.
Oh, totally.
Because if you're, it's like, hey, I love JL, but I can't afford a $300 set of speakers.
I would do those
C1s.
just for the rear feel.
Why not? It just depends what you're trying to do.
I'm going. Nando better take a power nap before he jumps on the driver's seat.
Probably.
Yeah. How many miles you put in this truck?
Not enough.
No, like the mileage. You think it's gonna be good?
I mean,
gas mileage.
We've used about a third of a tank.
A third? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
used about a third.
Okay. Dan, thank you for the $10, man, for Buc-ee's down the road.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Got another 200 miles to go before we get to Buc-ee's. Yay.
How many miles did you guys put in tonight? I think we're gonna get to Buc-ee's, right?
I mean, we're not stopping at Buc-ee's. Tonight,
we gotta stop at Buc-ee's.
I mean, he meant tonight, like, when are we gonna stop and pull off the side of the road and sleep and all that? I have no idea.
Oh, no, I'm saying we're gonna get to Buc-ee's tonight.
Well, we're gonna get to both Buc-ee's tonight, I think, or tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, actually, technically, everything will be tomorrow because we're not scheduled to get to Buc-ee's until 1:30 tonight.
There you go.
So we got another 3 hours before we hit the first Buc-ee's, and then it's probably another 4 or 5 hours before we hit the second Buc-ee's in Alabama, and then it's probably another 4 or 5 hours before we hit Hi-Fi's house in Arkansas. And then it's 3 hours from his house to Kicker.
All right.
Yeah.
Which knob should I use?
Ooh.
Working on an F-150, and I have an Ampro,
Yep.
a JBL DSP,
Yep.
and a Pioneer 5-channel amplifier. They all have a bass knob.
Yeah.
Which one should I use?
The Pioneer. Because the Pioneer is that bass knob, as we said, is a bass boost / volume control. I typically would plug in the Amp Pro volume knob and just put it in away. Two things you got to think about. If you want full control of the subwoofer volume and you want to have 0 to whatever you're playing at, then I would recommend plugging in the Pioneer bass knob, turning the volume of it all the way up, and burying it. Like hiding it somewhere or mounting it up underneath the dash where you don't really need to get to it, and then use the Amp Pro knob to be able to control your full volume effect. If you don't need full volume, you just, then just use the Pioneer.
Where are you guys going? To Kicker? Yes.
We're headed to Stillwater, Oklahoma.
Yeah. And the Kicker truck.
Kicker truck. Here we go. Red lights. Ooh, it's a stripper club. There it is. Woo.
All right, question for Dean. My biggest regret is selling my Power HX2S. It is? The Orion?
I mean, I still have my original SX2125. I mean, there's a lot of amplifiers I've gotten rid of over the years that are depressing. I had a bunch of Macintosh amplifiers that I really wish I still had now. I had the 6-channel with meters. I think I would love to have been able to keep that. I had the smaller 2-channel amplifiers that Doug is using. I ran a system in my clips off of that. Things come and things go. I mean, it's just how it is. I had the Macintosh head unit. I let that go. Yeah. And at the time, and there again, I've played with some amazing equipment over the years that I've just let go. Like I've had so much stuff that has just gone into either a trash can or moved sideways, or it's just the name of the game. You don't realize that later in life that these things might have value.
Sapco is still good?
According to Hi-Fi Vega, no.
No,
he says they suck. I'm sorry. Suck is probably the wrong word. They're just not what they used to be, I guess would be the more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they just
what are you
trying
doing?
to clean up. I just want to put the song because we haven't played it.
Oh, okay.
We got to play it for you guys. You know, that's all the purpose to just put a little bit of
bass.
A little bit of bass.
The
Trying to
make the microphone hate itself.
Yeah, just a little bit. Nothing crazy. All right.
You gotta close this.
I'm going to close it. All right.
Make sure the volume on your phone is up. Oh no, that's Bluetooth.
All right, so we're gonna play something. Is up?
Yeah, I just said press play.
Hang on. Trying to. Okay, just bear with me.
You might need to unplug your phone and plug it back in again. Because it's not. It's not.
Oh, it is now.
There's
All right.
volume. Pink noise.
Hang on. Media.
It'll just automatically.
iPod.
Yeah.
All right.
Just let it sit for a minute because it's gonna index your phone. Teen Tech.
Dude, man.
I've been dealing with it all week. Yeah. So it's like. All right. It's not reading your phone yet. Or your phone. It's got to download to your phone.
Hang on. It is on.
No, it's not. It's not moving.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on. Hang on. Let's read another question.
I was gonna say you could play just regular bass music.
Good speaker for Hyphonics, 1200.
A big speaker for 1200.
Oh yeah.
I mean, go get a Sundown.
It's a Car Audio Electronic magazine is still there?
No, they're gone. They don't exist.
No.
They have them in Japan. If you just want to look at pictures,
yeah.
you can find a Japanese car audio magazine on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
We know because one of our viewers sends us a couple copies every couple of months of the magazine that comes out of Japan. Obviously can't read a damn thing, but it is fun to look at. That's where are you plugged in? Are you plugged into the orange one?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think it's not
recognized that?
It's not playing.
I know.
So I think it's downloading to your phone. Does it play on your phone? Like if
it plays on my phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hold on. Let's go to browse. And let's just get it to play something, and then we can always go back. Or if you have just bass music downloaded.
I have some bass music.
Yeah, because we just got to get through the intro. Just get to the bass part.
Dude, man.
If you have Hyptocurrency on there,
yeah.
Just go to that because all that does in the beginning is just play some ungodly amount of bass.
Yeah.
If you guys don't have Hyptocurrency by whoever. Alright, hold on. You got a little carried away. You gotta remember this volume control is weird. What song are you playing? Oh, is that it?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright, hang on.
Alright.
God, this volume knob sucks. Ugh.
That's right.
Dude, I think I just got to use the steering wheel control.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
The volume knob is useless.
It is.
You spin it, it just sits there and goes, "Oh, are you turning me down? Why are you turning me down? Oh, you're turning me up now. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing." Stupid piece of crap.
DJ Mike. Yeah. I mean,
DJ Magic Mike.
Yeah, I got all the songs. Just trying to find something that's it's copyright. Because,
like I said, if you just play the first, if you play Hyptocurrency,
yeah,
that all it does when it starts up, it just goes, bah! And it's like, holy shit.
Well, see, I have the test tone.
Yeah, we don't want to play the test tone again. No, we're not doing the test tone game again.
Dude,
Although the camera thought the dash cam recorded that as a crash.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's too much.
Yeah. It automatically. Did you hear that ding that it did? That's it telling you that. Dude, that freaked us out when we were driving to Tennessee. We didn't know what the heck it was, and I hit a bump or something, and we're like, what was that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Haley and I just kind of looked at each other like, is there a ghost in this car? I'm like, relax. It was just a chime. She's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're, of course, having fun without me.
No, my hair is not going to move, man. I got plenty of gel.
You got JL?
I got gel.
You got JL
That
in your hair?
gel. 2021 Tundra 9 JBL. I want to install 6902C, the Kenwoods.
Yeah.
Do I need to install the crossovers on the 25?
Yeah.
On the 2.5, sorry.
Yes.
Even through the FAC and the amplifiers and the crossovers, yes.
Yeah.
Keep the factory radio for now. Will the kicker key help?
No. Don't put the kicker key in that car.
But it's not JBL.
That's fine. Just still don't put the kicker key in there because of the way that system works. How that system works. Then, all right, so everyone grab on to this crate. Like I've said, Toyota is just does some really stupid stuff. The factory radio is amplified. It goes out to the 3.5s in the dash. Those 3.5s then mix mono to the center channel. What that means is that the center channel in that is a dual voice coil 3.5 that's getting signal from both left and right.
Yeah.
When you replace either the radio or you add amplifiers, you need to unplug that center channel because you're going to make your amplifier wish it was dead. It's not made to run, your aftermarket equipment isn't made to run that. Now, that high level signal, then both front and rear, goes underneath the seat. That is the 6x9 amplifier and the 6.5s for the rear. There's an active crossover for the 6x9s. So on that 6902, it's going to say amplified, non-amplified. If you put it on the amplified section, for that speaker, you're perfectly fine because it's bypassing that crossover on the 6x9 and allowing it to use the crossover points in that amplifier. You totally want to do that. The dash, however, isn't crossed over in line. It's a full range signal because that's the same signal that's feeding that 6x9. So you're going to put the crossover for the CO2s on that speaker in the dash so that it will play the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
It's a high level, it's a really, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a good idea because they're like, how do we make it louder without doing anything? And it's like, oh, we could do that. But yeah, the nice thing is though, if you put an aftermarket radio in there and you go to the plug underneath the seat, the iData JBL plug for that will plug in. It's pinned wrong, but it will plug in, and as long as you don't hook any wires up behind the radio, all the wires you need are then there, because the wires that go up to the radio are also connected to the 2.5s in the dash, so you don't have to run any wiring in there. It's just it's a really weird system, but I love doing them because it's like, oh, well, we just have these plugs and we'll just plug everything in and it's really hunky-dory.
All right.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Dean.
Yes.
I have my complete car audio mag from 1996 to 1997 issue.
Nice.
You can have it if you like it.
I'm not going to say no.
As a collection display to your shop.
Oh, I would totally take that. Are you kidding me? It's
so,
funny because
Noel,
we were just looking at that and
you
audio
can
control.
if you want to donate that one for the and just have it.
Yeah.
You can send it to the store. You know.
Yeah.
5-star car stereo, clean water. Yes.
Make sure
like
you put a letter in the box and who it's from and all that other fun stuff.
Yes, And of course, I'm gonna say Noel is gonna be your name, so we can give you a shout out on Instagram or here. So thank you, man.
I'll send you a shirt.
There you go. He will send you a shirt.
I'll send you a 5-star shirt of your choice.
There you go.
Which means you'll get the flag because everybody wants the flag.
All right, say it again because.
But did it time out?
No.
Oh.
So he can actually.
Just hear me say it?
Yeah.
The microphone is connected here, not there.
No,
so he heard me
he
say
just
it.
wanna.
Yes, if he sends it to us, I'll make sure it has the right address on it, and then I'll send him a shirt.
Perfect.
I'll shirt. Unless he wants a different one. Brian Mitchell, take it to 11.
I got it right here.
Yeah, he's wearing the Brian Mitchell shirt.
Yeah.
Break the knob off, take it all the way to Brian mode.
I'm looking to use what I have, a Kicker Comp Q15 on the Orion XTR 2250.
Wow.
The beast.
Yeah, nice.
Umlaut is correct.
Awesome.
Nice.
Assuming the beast is probably vintage, just make sure the fuses inside of it are right. Because that was always the problem with the Beast back in the day, is that they put 35 amp fuses in it, so as soon as you turn it on, the internal fuses blew. And then you're like, yep, those come out, 60s. But run a 0 gauge.
ANC is the worst thing I ever experienced with the system.
ANC is not the worst thing, but it does suck very high.
Yeah, ANC is not the worst thing.
So ANC is automatic noise canceling. We're seeing all kinds of versions of that really do suck. However, there are other things.
Okay, so I'm gonna say for the first time, if you experience for the first time ANC, definitely is gonna suck. Like definitely, like oh my god, this is the worst.
The nice thing about ANC though is we haven't run across one that we couldn't shut off. I mean, some are harder than others. Like the F-150, you have to take back to the dealer and or use Forescan and or use an iData AR to reprogram the radio, which is really nice now. Thank you, Mark, for getting that done. However, what is going to suck going forward is some of the other technology that they're building into these Class D chips. Like, we look at load resistors, the amplifiers needing that load in order to activate, like Chrysler put that in, and it's like, okay, so we put an LGD on it, or we put something that has a load pack, and it turns it, but it's capable of doing so much more than that. These manufacturers are looking into building, or they're already doing it now, age chips. So think of this. The radio will automatically detune the system as the car gets older because it realizes the speakers are now older and it can't produce or move the way it has in the past. So it will start to detune the system because they don't want to replace the speakers. This is technology that exists right now, but nobody has turned on. Somebody's eventually going to turn that on, and that's going to be a timed thing that they're just going to build into the chip. So you get a car that's 10 years old, and it sounds weird. It's not like you're gonna have to figure out a way to go back in and reprogram that car to turn that crap off, if it's even possible of turning that crap off. Yeah. So there are some really scary things coming down the road that are going to make this really interesting. Yeah. But there again, what I see also is that the factory radio is going to become a secondary option, meaning we're not going to keep it. We're just going to have it there, and we're going to have some form of a device, which kind of exists now, that's just going to feed us, like if we need GPS or Bluetooth calling or any of that. So the screen is just going to be not the hub of the infotainment. The phone is. So we might see a time where we go back to that form of technology. Think of it as like putting the radio in the glove box kind of thing, but we're not going to do that. We're just going to have like a DSP box that the phone automatically streams to. Depending on the Bluetooth you have, you may be able to have the image of the artwork appear on the screen, the audio go to the box. There's a lot of other ways that we're going to have to deal with this stuff going forward. It's just makes me wish I could retire. But hey, really? In the meantime, we're just going to continue to have fun.
All right. Hi, Dean and Fernando. Do you ever install or experience one of those super large JBL Crown amplifiers back in the day?
No, actually, I never got to see one back in the day, but I had a guy come by that had one in his trunk. He was asking about getting it installed, and I was just like, "Are you insane?" I know Derek has one.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of one of those bucket list amplifiers. Like, I wanted to buy it from him, but he wasn't willing to come off of it. So, you know, it's cool wall art is really what it comes down to.
All right. For the new audio control bass knob, can you mention about making the cable longer?
It's just you can make it as long as you want. It's just an RG, oh, it's RG5 or RG6?
No, it's a CAT.
I'm sorry,
It's
Cat
a
5.
Cat 5.
It's a Cat 5 cable that comes in the box, so you can literally make it as long as you want.
Mm-hmm.
It can be 100 feet long if you need it to be. The idea was that they're just going to give you a generic size in the box, and if you need something longer, go to Lowe's and get a longer cable.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm with you. I figured they would give you at least a 17-foot cable in the box, but they didn't ask, and they're going with that little short cable. So, yeah, I would have gone with the 17-footer to me, but, you know, sometimes these things get developed, they get done, they get put out, and this is what they're going to run with. Now, like 2 hours ago when we first started talking about manufacturers changing things as time go on, the other reason why they're putting it, there's a couple reasons why you're getting the shorter cable. For one, it'll work for most applications, and by putting a shorter cable in there, it does reduce the price of the product. Because if you put a 17-foot cable in there as opposed to a 1.5-foot cable, that could raise the price of the products $30. People are already complaining about how much things cost, and if you don't need a longer cable, then just by going with a shorter one, you're saving $30. Most people want to save the $30, okay?
Yeah.
You have that to consider. But what we were saying 2 hours ago was some manufacturers will change things. So if it comes out and people are complaining about it not having a longer cable for their applications, then more than likely audio control will reassess and be like, all right, well, we made a mistake. We should put a longer cable in it and we'll just charge the $30 more. And there you go. So I personally feel that most people want to buy it as inexpensively as possible. And with the price of copper right now, yeah, I'll take the shorter cable. I'll make it work.
Yeah, totally. 2019 Civic 4-speaker system using an LC2I to tap the rears or the fronts.
If we're doing what are they doing? A subwoofer system?
I'm gonna say this is a subwoofer system.
If they're just doing a subwoofer system, you can tap the rears. It's not going to matter. Both of them have the same equalization on front and rear on the base model system. So you could grab either one. They're the same. You will have that system has a basically has a high pass crossover. It's not a subsonic crossover. It's a straight up high pass crossover that is centered around 50-60 hertz.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Yeah. So you're going to need some form of bass boost, as it were, to get deep bass out of your factory Honda radio. Whether it be through EQ and epicenter, or if the amplifier has, like Rockfords have punch EQ and other amplifiers have some form of bass boost in the lower frequencies, you're going to need that. Or your bass is going to be lackluster. And you're going to be like, why does it not sound boomy? Yeah. It's not a power problem. It's a lack of signal problem. If you went, so there you go. Now the LC2I has AccuBass. You can use AccuBass as a bass boost because technically the Honda doesn't have bass roll-off. It just has no bass.
Yeah.
So by turning it all the way, I think you turn the boost all the way up so that it activates right at 0. Wireless is you have to rock the amplifier that's built into the headphones. And if the headphone amplifier is weak, meaning it's just good enough, which most wireless headphones are just good enough because it's a combination of battery versus amplifier wattage. So, you have to have that delicate balance between the two so that you get like 8 hours or 6 hours of playtime, but it sounds okay. I'm not a fan of that. I would much rather go with an external amplifier that has more power, even a bigger amplified, one with a battery built into it that, like a FIO or a FIO or whatever they're called. I have a Little Bear. But,
have a great night, guys. Bye, man. Can't wait to purchase the new Epicenter limited edition.
I know, those are going to be exciting.
That's going to be nice. They look really cool, man.
Yeah. They do look cool. I can't believe they gave us that one. I mean, I'm happy they did, but I still can't believe they gave it to us. That's the thing I got to do after all this nonsense is go find a frame. I'm going to hang that up.
That's right.
That's right, bro. You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. Audio control needs to add Bluetooth 5.2 with the aptX and the LDAC to the 3.2 in-dash EQ. Will be one-stop solution preamp for use with phones.
I mean, you never know. That's a possibility. That's not a hot mover for them. I feel like it's just not a hot mover because, I mean, at the end of the day, if you've got a DM608 or anything like that and you put the E24 on, that'll work fine for phones. I mean, that'll do everything you need it to. You can tune the system through the phone. You can go through your presets on your phone. You can control the subwoofer level on your phone. So, and you don't have to take up any real estate in the dash, whereas you have to find a place to put a single DIN, and not a lot of people are doing that anymore. So I think that's kind of where they're at. But that's not to say they might never do that. I mean, you never know what they'll do and what they won't do. We sure as heck don't.
Audio control need to give me stuff for free.
Needs to give you.
I know,
needs
right?
to give them stuff for free?
Yeah, I know.
Dude, they ain't giving nobody stuff for free right now.
Nobody. Hey, Johnny Bolden is in here.
Johnny's in the house. What's
up, guys,
Johnny?
safe travels. Head out to Myrtle Beach tomorrow.
Nice.
You guys are heading out west.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Crazy, man.
One of the reasons why I wanted to get started tonight was, driving late at night is because I feel most people left yesterday, or they left this morning. So hopefully traffic will be normal for us.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, traffic hasn't been bad so far, but, I mean, it is 11 o'clock at night, so I'm assuming most people are where they're going to be for the weekend right now. They're not driving. I mean, there are some idiots like us that had to work Saturday, and, they're doing their thing. They'll go out tomorrow morning.
Can you recommend a new Kenwood dash camera and integrate it into the Kenwood head unit using the HDMI port on the side without having to use a conversion thing to the Kenwood not having an HDMI port?
So the 10-inch has an HDMI port now.
Yeah.
The 9-inch doesn't have an HDMI port, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see an HDMI port on the new 9 series radios whenever those do come out. Naturally, it worked in the 10-inch. We'll see a 9-inch that's going to have all the same features that the 10-inch has on its next iteration. I mean, we know that's coming. We know that's going to be a thing. They don't have to tell us. We know it's going to happen.
Yeah.
The dash cam is 3 years old at this point. They have HD already that doesn't come over the HDMI, so we don't need to come over the HDMI to do an HD dash cam. The video 1 and 2 inputs on the radios are already high-res input capable. If you've seen their high-res camera on those screens, it's incredible. But yes, it does make the dash cam look like crap. Are we going to see a new dash cam? Probably. I mean, we know we will. We know it's got to come. It's 3 years old. The problem is, like everything else, that needs a chip. And if they can't get them, we don't get a new dash cam. Are we eventually going to get a high-res dash cam? Of course we are. We know these are things we're going to get. It's just a matter of they're not going to get here fast enough for what we want. We want everything now. And we're not going to get it now. We might not even get it next year. So that kind of sucks. But we know that they're going to be doing this just by following the logic train of how manufacturers build things.
How does the Hertz Mili Pro compare to the Morel Virtus? It's the Hertz tweeter sharp, like Focal, or is warm, like Morel?
I think and there again, I feel like the tweeter leans more towards the Focal than it does the Morel. That's the one nice thing about that tweeter is I feel that tweeter is hotter. Mm-hmm. It has it's just more active, so to speak. Yeah. It's cheaper than a Virtus, that's for sure. If you want that hotter tweeter though, and way more range, I'd look at the hybrid.
Okay.
Because the hybrid tweeter is like silly.
I have a question. I just installed a Stinger High 10 on my 2011 Tahoe, but the pack isn't working for my steering wheel controls.
Okay. Did you set the dip switches properly? Mm-hmm. And did you set them before you plugged it in? If you plugged it in and then set the dip switches, you need to unplug the unit and reset it. The other thing too, which I made the mistake of, is there are two inputs on a high 10 that are for steering wheel controls. Only one of them works. And I've made the mistake every time we put one in of plugging it into the wrong aux jack for steering wheel control. Mm-hmm. So probably you did the same thing and you have it plugged into what you think is the right input, but it's the wrong input. So check that too. That's probably what it is, because I've done it on every time we put a high 10 in. I literally I never remember which one it is, and I plug it in what I think it's supposed to be, and I called Jeff the first time, and he goes, dude, you plugged in the wrong input. I'm like, well, it says, no, that's the wrong one. I go, your instructions suck. He goes, no. So that's probably what the issue is pull it back out and make sure you're plugged into the right steering wheel control input.
Yeah.
That's the other one.
HDMI Mini, a red core with a front and back dash cam.
Okay.
To the head unit, and I have to use the conversion to hook up, but there is inconsistency short after I turn the car off.
What kind of radio has HDMI Mini input for a camera? HDMI Mini for cars sucks. Like, Pioneer has an HDMI Mini on the back of their radios, and that's a nightmare.
I hook up that way with the DDX 7705S, and when I turn the car off and turn it back on, it doesn't respond at all. I can get it to integrate, but there is no complication, so basically get a new head unit. What
kind of car is it?
I have no idea.
I mean, is it a factory camera or an aftermarket camera?
Huh.
Because are we using a high-res module, like a pack, or I'm sorry, like a Metra Access to go from a high-res camera down to a coax camera?
Yeah.
Because we run in that one problem in the Jeep where it would work once and then it wouldn't work anymore, and we called them up and they're like, oh, no, we don't. Even though the sheet of paper that came with it says this is compatible, it's not compatible. I was like, oh, okay.
All right. I don't want to kick nobody out, so just
play nice.
Play nice, guys. 2021 Silverado D 4.800 using sounds good car stereo amp. Rack has a hole for the factory stud. Truck has one, so add some nutsers, but the left side can put nutsers any tips. The wall it's not thick. All right, so it's a 2021 Silverado D 4.800 using the sounds good car stereo amp rack.
Correct.
All right, it has a slot on the hole for the factory stud.
Right.
But I think one side it doesn't. What do you do? I mean, what do you What do you mount the amplifiers from? The last time.
What the heck was that? Like a part of a car. So I make brackets that go off left and right and up and down and sideways and wherever it needs to go in order to. So like
it has a double. It has a double.
The top is always a double piece.
Yes.
There's a bunch of pegs that come off of it. I think on one of the amp racks, I mean on the one on the driver's side, I just made the amp rack taller, so it went from the double metal at the top all the way to the ground.
Yeah.
And I used one of the seat bolts at the bottom, and you know I don't know what their piece looks like, but yes, you would never drill a hole for a nutsert into the back wall that's going to the outside of the vehicle. That would be a no-no. So I don't know why they would do that. I'm hoping they didn't do that.
Right.
You know, if they give you a nutsert and they expect you to drill a hole, well, I get that.
Right.
But,
I mean, you know, like
you would hope it'd be in double metal portion.
Sage and I forgot the other name, the other guy's name. You know, I think they explain you.
I don't know
where and all that stuff.
I haven't looked at it. I mean, if you don't have the nutsert tool, there is a way to put nutserts in without having the tool.
Okay.
Because I know on the new Stinger JL Jeep box that they have, they give you nutserts to put it into the rear door. I'm sorry, it might be the JK. And they have a whole video showing you how to put in nutserts without having a nutsert tool.
Yeah.
You know, so.
All right. Dean, I installed kicker key and my wife's cake with the Sync 3 non-premium. Everything plays correct speakers, but no bass. Polarity on all speakers are 3 reds and 1 green.
So you use the key lock? What kind of car?
The kicker key. It's Escape.
An Escape?
It's the same Haley's car.
Okay. So there's no.
It's no premium.
Okay, so it's Haley's car. All
yes,
right, so
everything plays to correct speakers, but no bass.
Did you check polarity?
Yes, it says 3 reds and all of them and 1 green. So all the speakers are fine.
Polarity.
Yeah.
Do you have the high pass crossover on the amplifier? Is it set too high? We have a subwoofer in Haley's car. I don't remember what. I don't remember what they were doing. The one mistake, like when we put hers in, we tapped the subwoofer in. Remember, because the subwoofer was already installed in her car, and we had it tapped into the rear speaker wire.
Yeah.
And then when we put in the key, we forgot to move the signal for the subwoofer out to the other side of the kicker key. You remember doing that? Because we had no bass because we were going after the key for the signal for the sub. So I was like, oh crap, because we sit there for like 10 minutes because it was way too late. And we're like, wait a minute, why does the bass sound weird? Oh, it's on the output side of the kicker key, which is screwing everything up.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't know, but I mean,
it's something
if you don't have a subwoofer, yeah, it's a very lackluster stereo. It's not that, it's factory, so it sucks. It sucked in the beginning. The key can only do so much.
Yes. Metra wood glue any good?
I've never used it.
No?
No, I always use the Tight Bond stuff.
Okay. Safe travels, guys. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, glue it. I would just go, because somebody else was paying for that. I'd just go to the. Ooh, yeah. I'm not.
All right, so it's no. Right.
They have a video on how to install it the way they envisioned it being installed. That's one of the reasons why we haven't brought amp racks out for sale. At some point, we plan on doing that.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of I don't want to get a car in and then build one amp rack and be like, oh, this is going to be the amp rack you're going to be able to use forever and ever and ever, because it's crap.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, this is horrible. And it's like, what were these guys thinking? This is just like a, this looks like garbage. So when we bring amp racks out, it's something that we've used over and over and over and over again.
And we're gonna give you
It'll be a video.
Trying to give you everything just to install it.
The reason why we don't sell them right now is because we'd have to router them out, and I'd much rather CNC and make it super easy.
Right.
Like we don't even have time to deal with what we have, let alone deal with building amp racks and stuff like that. But it is something that we're going to do at some point, because why not?
Nando, your arm is getting tired?
Oh, it's got to be getting tired,
Of course.
Man. Yeah.
It's 2 hours already.
It was his idea to hold it like this. I had a big suction cup for the window so that he could just kick back and relax. I'm sorry, as we were saying, this as opposed to like, this is sucky. Oh, dude, just come over. Really? You don't know what a turn signal is?
Yeah, you're in the highway, man. There's no turn signals in here.
He thinks he's on Le Mans. He's just going to drive wherever he wants.
Do you put turn signals in the highay?
Yeah.
Every time?
Every time.
Oh, I don't. I just go and...
Yeah,
move!
You're a douche.
Move!
But anyways, the Dodge van was way nice. This is terrible. I'd much rather be in my car. Because, there's no room in this. We got 10 tons of subwoofer behind us.
But I feel it's the same as your car, no?
Yeah, but...
Nobody sits in the back.
Nobody does, but I can put my seat back.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, yeah.
I don't know. These seats are definitely, like fat guy approved as far as that goes. So, you got lots of butt room on this.
Yeah. Oh, totally. 1-2 months, reasonable expectations for an appointment and quality shop for an install. Okay, yeah. It's a 1 or 2 months reasonable expectations.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we're booking. I heard him yesterday. He was like, yeah, sometime in November. I was like, what? So.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's right now 2 months.
Yeah, so 1 to 2 months is fine. We've had people that have waited longer than that. Yes. Okay. Everyone is busy as shit right now. Plus, the other thing, too, is getting the equipment for the install can take a month or two to get in at this point because of product shortages. So, like, we had a guy that we just did a Ford Expedition, and we've been waiting for, I think, 2 months to get in the A to B adapter for it. So we had time to do it earlier on, but we couldn't get the A to B. It might have been 6 weeks. I think we waited 6 weeks for the A to B adapter.
Yeah.
But we finally got it in. It was like, all right, cool. We did that right before we left for Seattle.
Yes, we did.
Did we film that?
No, I don't think so.
Didn't we? No. I thought we did. No, I guess we didn't.
Where do I get good music signal in the 2021 Honda Civic Type R? I want to upgrade the stereo speakers, amplifiers, and subs.
Well, if it's got a factory amplifier in it, there is no such thing as finding a good signal. You have to go after the amplifier in that one. So there's two choices you have. If you want your Bluetooth to work properly and not echo, then you have to go after the amplifier. If you're going to go after the amplifier, you have to have the center channel, the front tweeters, the front mid bass, and the subwoofer to feed into a processor. You have to go full active. Don't think you're going to buy a 5-channel amp and sum all this stuff together. P or something that has 6 inputs, 2 of which have to be discrete, meaning that 5 and 6 have to be a solo input, meaning you can have different things because you have to feed the center channel and the subwoofer into it. So a lot of DSPs have 6-channel input, but they're stereo pairs. So you have to have something that has discrete input. So like an audio control DM608, it has 2 inputs that are discrete, meaning you could feed the center channel, you can feed the subwoofer, and they're their own channels. The center channel is where all your Bluetooth phone calls come through, your GPS, all that talking stuff. So you have to put that in. What we like to use in those cars for that system is Alpine makes the 850, the PHX 850X, something like that. The reason why we choose that, it's a 12-channel DSP with 6 channels of input and 8 channels of amplification built into it. So what we'll do is we'll take the amplification and we'll use one channel to power up the center channel. We'll use 2 of the channels to power up the rear. If it has component rear speakers, like a lot of them do, we'll put 4 channels to the rear because it's 8 channels of amplification. And it's a 12-channel DSP, so we still have plenty to go out to our subwoofer and our front active. So you buy that, you buy a 4-channel amp for the front, and then you buy a sub amp or a 5-channel at that point, and you get a really nice system in the Honda. We've done that in the Honda Civics, we've done it in the Accord. We just did it a couple weeks ago in a brand new Civic. It was fabulous. It still works. We've been doing it in that car now for a couple of years. Metra makes the interface for it, which sounds amazing. Like, it's easy if you just want to put a 5-channel amp in. The problem that you run into is right now there's an echo on the cell Bluetooth. So if you use your Bluetooth phone calls, talking back to them. But sound quality.
That's it. All right, guys. We're gonna
stay tuned. We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll probably take a little nappy poo. We'll be back live a little bit later on tonight. Probably when we hit Buc-ee's, we'll come back on and let you know what's going on.
Oh, totally.
That'll be in like 2 hours. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. We're at about a little more than half a tank right now, so hopefully we'll make it, but I don't know. It's a gas guys. We'll see you guys soon.
Bye.